Hello. Happy Friday. How are you? Carlton Banks, thank you for the $10 super chat. No, you're amazing. How is everyone today? Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Let me know if you guys have any trouble hearing me or anything like that. I'm going to be doing the best I can to keep up with the chat and catch up with you guys. And it's been a while since we did one of these on YouTube. But if you don't know, I do stream on Twitch like twice a week, usually Sundays and Thursdays in the evening, Eastern American time. So you can catch me there getting incredibly frustrated with games that are probably easy for other people. But yeah, otherwise, cool. So let's hang out. I figured some of you guys are probably new since the last time I did this. So if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to talk about, let's do the thing. Oh, thank you, Kieran, for the super chat. Technically and emotionally inspiring. Aww. I'm glad you like the vampire roommate. Yeah, she's she's a lot of fun. She's my favorite for all kinds of reasons. So, all right. Is it EST now or EDT now? I think it's EDT now because of the time change. Hell if I know. I don't know, you guys. Whatever. All right. I have a question. Do you like pancakes? Are there people that don't like pancakes? Is that a thing? I don't know anybody who doesn't like pancakes. Huh. Well, now I'm kind of curious if there are people that don't like pancakes. Nova, thank you for the 20-pound super chat. Supreme Overlord? Oh dear, I don't think I'm quite at that level. Supreme Overlord, that's pushing it. Queen maybe, but Supreme Overlord, you know, you're putting me on a pedestal. So, oh, you're welcome for the blind comfort roleplay. Yeah, I liked that one a lot. That was a good one to do. Did I have cake already? I did. My parents arrived this morning with a cake, and I had that for breakfast, and that may have been a mistake because starting the day with that much sugar, probably not the best idea. I have regrets. A few. Just a few. But I'll probably feel better shortly and then want more cake. So you know how that works. Do I like chocolate cake? Yeah, it was a chocolate cake. It was like a chocolate and caramel? Chocolate and salted caramel? Something like that. It was that kind of thing. S047, thank you for the $20 super chat. I'm glad you like the audios. Unique, well acted, and extremely entertaining. Wow, thank you. I never really thought of myself as an actor. I still don't, but Empress of the Galactic Empire. Wow. Winter Panda, come on. Like, you know me better than that. I recognize a lot of you guys from my Twitch streams, and also some of you are my patrons, and we hang out on Discord, and yeah. Many of you are very familiar to me, and Winter Panda, you know better. Have I ever had a pan waffle? No. Pan waffle. But you know what you can do? You can put, you can get like those tubes of cinnamon rolled dough and put them in a waffle maker. And then just drizzle like the icing on top of it. Waffle makers you can make all kinds of great stuff in. Brownies and yeah. Godzilla or Kong? Do I have to pick one? Mothra. Chocolate or vanilla? Chocolate. Although I was always the kid that bought like the swirl cone when I was a kid because I couldn't decide. This is your first stream. Welcome. Yeah, like I said, I haven't done one here on YouTube in probably 6 months now. Wow. And I'm sorry it took me so long to get this one scheduled. Things have been a little nuts because this is not my job. I have a day job, and juggling all of this can be a little overwhelming, but maybe someday this can be my job. Remnant Rose, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. All hail our mighty leader. Wow. Your personal favorite is the Blizzard series. Yeah, that one, I mean, hold on. 1 second, I'm trying to also mod a little bit in the chat. Rural's here modding too, but it's a busy job. The Blizzard series was one, and you can see in the little fun facts, that was never meant to be a series. That was just supposed to be a one-off audio. And people kept asking what happened to them, and they wanted a part 2. So, because I thought it'd be fun just to like let the listener decide. Do they live? Do they not? It's kind of, whatever you wanted it to be. And then people wanted a part 2, and unless the part 2 is the funeral, I guess they have to live. So, and I was already planning to do a coma audio. And that just kind of played right into that. Like, okay, well, we'll just make part 2 the coma and roll. And then it became a friends to lovers. And yeah, it just kind of unfolded. So that wasn't even one of the series. Like some series I think through, like the Alien series, I know where I'm going with it, like pretty much from the start. And I try to keep them at like 4 or 5 episodes because I don't want to have a huge barrier of entry to people that haven't been watching since the beginning to be like, I have no idea where this story is because I have not been paying attention. But that, yeah, the Blizzard one was an unintentional series, I guess. Let's put it that way. Musical Boy, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Congrats on 20K. You started doing your own roleplay. Good job. Isn't it fun? It's fun. It's super fun. Skater Hero, oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Have a great rest of your day. I will. I will do the best I can to have a great rest of my day. Holy crap, you guys are so supportive. I love you guys so much. Most people here are either patrons or Twitch viewers. Some. I mean, actually, a lot of these names I don't recognize, so there's some overlap. But yeah, Twitch, I mean, Twitch is just chill. Like, I have had people come to my Twitch streams and be like, you are nothing like your audios. And I'm like, yeah, because the audios are, meant to be the perfect situation. Like, and don't get me wrong, I can be sweet and wholesome and all that, but when I'm beating my head against a wall in Minecraft, I might say a few words that perhaps would be less than appropriate for some audiences. So, it happens. Do I enjoy Thai food? I haven't really had a lot of Thai food. It's not something I eat a lot of. We don't really have a lot of it around here. Do I play Minecraft? I do. Well, I played on stream. I've played it a total of, I could probably count on one hand the number of times I've played it, but I do it for, a few hours at a time. Totally not ignoring online class right now. Do I write most of my scripts? I write all of my scripts. I have never accepted a script from anybody. I accept ideas. If people have a cool idea for a character or a story, and my Olympian patrons, that's one of the perks they get, is that once a month we do a 30-minute Discord call, and then we just talk, the two of us, and talk out their ideas for scripts. And I talk about whether it's something I feel like I can do, how I can flesh it out, how I can sort of realize their vision, and then, make it go. But I do all my own writing for a couple of reasons. One, that's my favorite part, because I'm a writer, so I like it. And 2, I like to have total ownership of my process. I don't ever want there to be any sort of confusion about who owns what as far as the creatives on my channel. And that's also why I don't ever do audios based on existing intellectual property, like, My Hero Academia characters or anything like that. Like, I don't use anybody else's property. And also because I write them in my own voice. So as I write them, I can hear it in my head. I know how I'm going to say it. And when I go to record, like, the recording is the quickest part. I generally don't need to do more than one take, like, ever, because I just have it written the way I speak. So that works out pretty well for me. Let's see. What have I missed? I need to scroll back. Supreme Empress. Where'd the name Goober come from? I don't know. It's just it's a silly name that I remember hearing, when I was a kid and thought it was funny, and I guess I liked it. Will the vampire roommate ever get a name? Probably not. I mean, we're so far into that story that there's really no point in naming her now. Like, in your head, you can call her whatever you like. Usually asleep when yeah, that's the thing. When I stream on Twitch, it's usually like 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. So I realize that pretty much rules out Europe and many parts of the world from listening to me. And that's fine. But the VODs are always there if you want to go back and watch my shenanigans later. Let's see what else is going on with you guys. You can't believe I'm not a vampire celebrity kitsune childhood friend. I know, right? Like, I totally had you fooled. School is boring. What's the hardest audio I've done? When you say hardest, do you mean like hardest to record or hardest to write? Because that's two different questions. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to drink a lot of Diet Coke during this because, talking makes me thirsty. And Diet Coke is my jam. So, the folks that made the art that's on the screen, if you go into the audios where that art appears as the thumbnails, the credits are in there. I like to go places like Reddit and Twitter and find artists who do commissions. And I commission them, and I usually give them very simple instructions. Brown hair, green eyes, because that's how I look. And then ideally a pose that's got some movement to it. And then they kind of can do what they want. And so this is what I get. And I really love it. I love seeing what the artists do with very little direction and just sort of like, okay, the brand is Urban Nymph, brown hair, green eyes, have fun with it. Let's see what you do. And I get so many interesting things. And I love supporting a variety of artists. And I love finding different art styles that, I haven't used before and putting those into the rotation. The newest one it's got like the toga on. Like, I really dig that. Like that one right there that just came up for me. I don't know if you guys are seeing it, but I dig that one a lot. Thane, thank you for the super chat. You are so welcome. Hold on, let's see. Don't forget the clips. Alan, yeah. Alan, I played the clip this morning for my parents of me and the cat having that conversation last night because it was so funny. And my parents, they kind of understand how this works. They don't entirely, but they're like, okay, yeah, but it's universal language hearing somebody argue with their cat. So, is there anything in my videos I couldn't stop laughing? No, I don't crack myself up. I don't find myself all that funny, honestly. Like, the laughing, it's legit to a point, but like, it's not as legit as the crying. If there's an audio where I'm crying, that is 100% real. And I've said it before, I learned two things when I started making myself cry on purpose for these things. One is that I swallow a lot. Like, do you ever realize how much you swallow when you cry? You swallow a lot. Like, I had no idea until I was going back and editing and went, why? Why am I swallowing so much? And the other problem was it was hard to stop once I started. Because if you're crying, if you trigger yourself to cry, sometimes your body's like, oh, okay, we're going to do this now. And it tries to dump everything into that cry. And it's like, okay, this was only supposed to be a 2.5 minute cry. And now it's going on 12. It's like, how do I stop? But yeah, that's kind of what I've learned from triggering myself in that way. All right. Hold on, I'm scrolling back, making sure. Do I like pulled pork? Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind it. I do occasionally eat it. The channel has a mascot. Yeah, the channel's mascot is the ghost crab Arthur, who appears in the thumbnails of the first two audios I ever did back when I thought a chill beach was like a cool idea for a thumbnail, and then I rethought that pretty quickly. But he's still there. He's an emote on my Discord, and yeah, he's around. On the Discord, Arthur the Crab is representative of taking care of yourself. So if someone comes in and says, oh my gosh, I haven't been sleeping, or I forgot to eat today or whatever, then we use Arthur the Crab to be like, no, you need to take care of yourself, otherwise Arthur will get you. It's sort of aggressive love. Very, very aggressive love. Musical Boy, another super chat. You've done a few preternatural role plays. Would you do... I don't... Kemonomimis? Elephant-eared boy, huh. I've never thought about it. I could certainly look into it. Nova, oh my gosh. 100 pounds, super chat. Jesus. This is entirely to troll that one person that disliked the stream. I mean, if you're motivated out of spite, there are worse things to be motivated by, honestly. Like, I am motivated by, oh God, usually Diet Coke and anger, so yeah, I feel you. Ellen, I saw that stretch, by the way. And yet, there's no hydrate. Guys, come on. This isn't Twitch. If you want to start making me jump through hoops, go to the Twitch streams. Green eyes. Yes, I have green eyes. What else? I apologize if this is disjointed. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. And if I did, please tell me. Never look up while you swallow so much when you cry. I mean, I don't really need to know that. I just noticed I do it. The Witch Wife, that one really didn't have an inspiration. That was more of just wanting to dip my toe into the F-Dom thing a little bit. Obviously not, like, I don't do an SFW audio, so that's not ever going to be an issue, but, like, just sort of being a little more assertive. And I know some people, myself included, usually have to be sort of bullied into taking care of themselves or bullied into relaxing. Because if somebody's not making you do it, it's so easy not to just be like, nah, I don't have time for that. I've got things to do. I've got, something else needs my attention. I don't have time to just relax. And I thought it might be fun to sort of take that role and be like, no, you're going to relax. Here's how we're going to do it. And then throw a little ASMR while I was at it. So I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't entirely sure how that one was going to go, but it seems like it was pretty positive. I do have green eyes. Yeah, it's not just the character. My OC is just me. I'm not creative. The brown hair, green eyes, yeah, that's just who I am. And right now my hair is legit like anime girl length because I haven't had a haircut in over a year. So it's like down my back, like Lady Godiva style. Like I really need a haircut, honestly. It's getting very heavy. So, do I eat rice? Yes, everybody eats rice, don't they? Okay, I'm going to try and scroll back a little bit. And for everybody who's just dipping in saying hi, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out and visiting. I really do appreciate it. Can you tell my cat that she is an adorable, precious fluff and that she's very cute? Mr. Combat's cat, you are an adorable, precious fluff, and you are very cute. I assume I don't actually know you, but I'm gonna take the word there and say yes, that is the case. Breaking up is hard to do is the saddest one. Really? Yeah, I guess so. I guess that makes sense. I didn't aggressively cry in that one. I got teared up a little bit, but I tried not to trigger myself too much for that one. I know the reverse comfort for the really, really bad day is pretty rough too because of the crying, but maybe you should start audio role plays. I mean, the way I trigger myself is basically to, just think of the saddest things that ever happened in my life and ideally scroll back to my phone and find pictures of those things if I can to try and like jog the memory. Yes, I like rice. Oh, look at all the birthday cakes. Aw. Birthday cakes, yay. Coda, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday, you the best. No you. No you. There is no Diet Coke emoji. On my Twitch, there's an emoji of me drinking Diet Coke. But Diet Coke by itself. And also my channel points on Twitch are little tiny Diet Cokes called Ricolas. If I had to come up with a name for the vampire roommate, what would it be? Honestly, I don't. I in my head, she is vampire roommate. And I never, there's never been a name for her that popped out for me. And, that's fine. I'm cool with that. How do you get yourself to cry? Yeah, I trigger it with, pictures of things. I'll scroll back to my phone until I find a picture of a dog that passed away or something that I remember. Lost pets tend to be... Because the past year, 2 of my 3 dogs passed away. They were both very old and... just it was their time, but it's still super sad and traumatic. So I scroll back and look at pictures of them, and that has a way of triggering me. The myth alignments. Yeah, I'm glad you like the myth alignments. That's another thing I wasn't entirely sure was going to work, doing a weekly, tiny, positive, affirmative, upbeat thing, but I think it's working. What's your favorite video game from 2020 up to so far? Yikes. You gotta understand it. I'm not a super gamer. I don't jump on games when they come out. I don't spend a ton of time. Really, most of the time I'm playing something is when I'm on stream. I don't do a lot of off-stream gaming because I stream so much. I've got my 2 streams a week, and then I've got the stream on Fluxy's channel on Saturdays. I did enjoy Sanctum 2 when we played that as a group a few weeks ago on Fluxy's channel. That was actually a lot of fun. I like League of Legends. I've played that for years. That's one I do keep coming back to. but mostly just ARAMs because they're very low stress. Come on, come up here. Come on. Come on, get on the couch. Thank you. Sorry, the dog has decided to join. So, yeah, League of Legends I come back to. Minecraft I'm enjoying. I played a lot of Stardew for a while. Like I put 100-something hours into Stardew until I got bored. I like Final Fantasy 14. That was another one that I played the hell out of until I got to like level 42, and then I just sort of stopped. What else? I mean, there's a lot. I just, if something is fun, I'll play it. It doesn't really matter. Like, obviously, everybody was playing Among Us for a while. Everybody was playing Fall Guys for a while. And those are all fun for what they were. So, hold on, let me scroll. Oh, no. Lost Redeemer, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I hope you're having a great birthday. I would love to see something about gardening with the vampire roommate for the puns. Puns. Y'all know how I feel about puns. Like, in general. In a general sense. So some I will tolerate, but how did I get inspired by ASMR? I mean, I've listened to ASMR audios and videos for years and years and years. Like, I remember listening to Gentle Whispering and, you know, Heather Feather and those people way back, like 8 years ago type thing. And have used that to sleep, you know, for a long time. And then started a few years ago, started getting into watching a lot of anime, like a lot of anime. And YouTube took that and said, oh, you like anime? Here's a bunch of audios, since you like that sort of thing, with anime character thumbnails. Except these weren't really ASMR. These were like, you know, VA audio roleplay things. And I didn't know that was a thing. I had no idea what that was. So I started listening to those, and I was like, okay, these are kind of interesting. The listener's part of the story. It's, you know, kind of immersive. I like it. And then I started writing scripts for some of the VAs and decided I liked that. And then took the leap and got into it myself. And I don't, like I've said before, I don't have any idea why. I don't know why I decided to do this. I've never in my life been told that I have a good voice. So this was just something that I jumped into for reasons still unknown to me. But it worked out. So let's see. What am I missing? Lost Jedi, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I'm proof that there's still good in the world. Aw, that's sweet. May the force be with you. See, okay, so the funny thing about being raised Catholic, but also being a Star Wars fan, is that you're so tempted to respond to "May the force be with you," and also with you, or more recently, and with your spirit. And that's of course not how it goes, because that's church. And I'm not Catholic anymore. I haven't been to church in God, I can't even tell you how long, but anything be with you is their auto responses, and also with you. So yeah, thank you for that. Striker, thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday, you beautiful lady who does awesome ASMR videos. Hello from Texas. Hello, Texas. How is Texas? Recovering, I hope. I know Texas was going through it. Let's see, I'm sorry, I'm scrolling back trying to... Any aspirations for commercial voice work? Yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. I actually do voice work for my company, the company that I work for. I do the voiceovers for their ads, but it's funny because the channel came before that. Like, they found out about my channel and they were like, hey, maybe we can get you to do stuff for us. I was like, sure. So that's what I do for their ads and videos and stuff, but I haven't done anything for Google or anything like that. It's literally just my company stuff. So, but yeah, I'm always open to that kind of thing. I've been told that my voice would probably suit, you know, it tends to be like badass characters, like slightly gritty female characters in games and anime who probably carry a very large gun. Like, I get associated with that trope a lot, which is fine. I'm cool with that. But yeah, the house dragon has definitely joined the chat. She's right behind. What do you want? Can I help you? She's just sitting here like a freaking gargoyle. Chonk's outside. Chonk has not joined us. But all right, hold on, I'm scrolling. Well, I do a face reveal. Nope, I've thought about it, but ultimately, like, the point of what I do is to immerse the listener in whatever they want to be imagining. And if you knew what I looked like, you know, it wouldn't, like, every time you heard me speak from then on, you would see that in your head instead of the character that I want you to be picturing. So it's in my best interest to let you imagine, I guess. And, you know, I mean, like I said, I'm happy to share certain details, you know, my hair color, my eye color, things like that. But as far as the characters go, like, I don't want to ruin the immersion for the listener. I think it's better that way. Hold up. Why does it keep popping like this? Stephen Gonzalez, thank you. Thank you for the $14.99 super chat. Gotta go to work now. Sorry. Sorry about it. That sucks. I'm the only ASMR channel whose voice isn't physically repulsive? Huh. I don't know how to respond to. Like I said, I listen to a ton of ASMR, both men and women. Not so much VAs anymore, not so much like role play type stuff, like the stuff that I do. I used to, but I've kind of gotten out of habit, partly because I don't want to be inadvertently influenced by other people's work. Like, I don't want to accidentally pick up anything of theirs and make it my own, whether I mean to or not, because, you know, I like to operate in a vacuum in a way. And I feel like I don't necessarily need I used to need the inspiration a lot, but now I feel like I've got my feet under me and I can kind of run with it as I want to and as I want to go with it and what direction I want to take it. And I like that. And yeah, but I still listen to, like I said, Gentle Whispering, Ephemeral Rift, Fred's Voice, Angelica. God, I love Angelica. I've said it before, but do yourself a favor and listen to Angelica. God, there's so many. I'm drawing a complete blank, but there's so many. Do I do this as my job? No, this is all on the side. My day job is just a normal 9 to 5, day job, but I do work remote because COVID, so that's nice. But no, this is all in my off time, so I write scripts when I can, and then I record in a closet because closets are great for recording because they are quiet and they're full of clothes, which muffle sound, and they don't usually have like a vent in them, so if the air conditioner kicks on, it's not the end of the world. But I can generally only record like at 6 a.m. or super late at night because, there's traffic noises, there's helicopters, there's, sirens, people walking dogs, things like that. So so during the day, it's not really an option to record, tragically. Let's see. Hold on. Every time I scroll a little bit, the whole thing pops to the end, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Imagine watching an ad for an antidepressant and the vampire roommate starts listing off the sound effects, or side effects. Yeah. My favorite ones are the ones where the drug is called, oh God, let's pretend like it's Tylenol. And they're like, don't take Tylenol if you're allergic to Tylenol. It's like, how the hell would I know? Like, and you're right, I definitely will not take it if I'm allergic to it. Thank you, disembodied voice, for making sure that I don't do something incredibly stupid. Is it too late for you to make roleplay audio? No, there's people getting into this all the time. Like, if you wanna make audios, just get a microphone. My first microphone was like a $20 microphone. It was super cheap. I didn't have a pop filter. I didn't have, anything, any setup. I had Audacity, which is free. It's free software. And yeah, just do it. Just have some fun with it. And you can learn so much about how the software works, different things you can do with like effects. And now I've got, great websites where there's free sound effects, free background sounds, things like that you can use. I mean, there's a very low barrier of entry to doing this if you really just want to give it a shot. I do strongly advise scripting everything or I take that back. If you don't script everything, if you ad-lib, make sure you clean it up in post, because when you're ad-libbing, the chances are it's going to be very, very long pauses between what you're saying, like longer than you would ordinarily be. And you can clean that up after. But like by and large, I don't ad-lib because I like to have more control over what I'm saying than that. But yeah, if you want to get into it, absolutely get into it. Don't we know what you look like if my character is just me? I mean, yeah, to a point. But you can see even the variety within the art that I have on my thumbnails. Like, there's a lot of variety there. Like, I don't have bangs. I will say that right now. Some of these characters have bangs. I don't have bangs. I used to have bangs. I grew them out. So there you go. That's a difference. In your eyes, I'll always be a crab. You know what? Right back at you. Let's see. Which of my characters is my favorite character art? I mean, I have a soft spot for the one with like the dark gray t-shirt because that was my first commissioned art that I really liked. And I also have a soft spot for the bare midriff, like anime girl with the jeans and the white top because I just really like her. But I like all of them. I mean, they all feel like different parts of me, honestly, like different, like if I'm perky, if I'm crabby, if I'm sassy, whatever, like they all have a place in my mood. So, do people in your family call loved ones sweetness? No, that's just me. That's just something I do. Happy birthday. Wish you could, I'm sorry, you can't stay. Helicopters, yeah, I live in Northeast Florida and we have Navy bases and Coast Guard and stuff like that. So the helicopters are a thing. What else? Yeah, the crab on the oldest videos, that's Arthur. Yeah, that's him. That picture of the beach with the crab with Arthur, I walked down to the beach one day after a hurricane a few years ago. And it was very, the tide was out, it was very wide and flat, and there was a lot of debris and stuff that had washed up. But there was this little ghost crab just chilling, so I got down on my stomach and took a picture of him and thought, he's pretty cute. And so when I was looking through my pictures to find something kind of chill and relaxing to use as a thumbnail, that was the first thing I thought of. And he just kind of went with it. So, all right, what else have I missed? Hold up, let me scroll back a little bit. One person disliked this. I know, how dare they? No, it's fine. I realize I am not for everyone. It's cool. Carrying a huge gun emote. I'm pretty sure Twitch would not approve of me carrying a huge gun in my emotes. Maybe on Discord I could get away with it. All right, let me keep scrolling. Any more modern mythology audios? Yeah, I mean, I still dip into that. Like I said in the thumbnails, the Helen of Troy was by far the most difficult as far as the research, because I'm so determined to get everything as accurate as possible. But then the Norse goddess one, the last couple of weeks, that one was more, like, that was pretty light on the research because I was just dipping into my own knowledge and a little tiny bit of research. And that one was more playful. That wasn't like a 4 or 5 part epic storytelling adventure. That was more of like, hey, let's play a little game. Can you guess which character I am? Which I liked. And I've toyed with doing something with some Egyptian characters. I've toyed with doing something with maybe some South American characters. There's a lot there. The constraints of using an existing mythology are, obviously, the story has been told. Those characters already exist. Those characters have attributes that I have to make sure I incorporate. So it's not like Vampire Roommate or Shapeshifter or any of those others where I'm inventing the universe and I can make the rules that I want to make. I have to have all the information about these characters and the world they live in before I even start. And therefore, because I have to get it right. I don't allow myself to cut corners on content if I can help it. So, like, the Helen of Troy series was just an absolute whip because I was doing so much research into everything, like the streets of Rome, where things would be, all that kind of stuff. So, and a lot of it I didn't use. A lot of the research I did, I ended up just sort of being like, no, you know what, that's not important for where the story is going. That's an unnecessary detail. I don't need to incorporate it. I'll skip it this time. But I still spent the time looking into it, And so with existing characters and existing mythology, I feel like I owe it to the stories and to the characters to do the best job I can, to be as thorough as I can, to be as respectful as I can, I guess, and to tell a good story. So with all of that, I can't just sort of make shit up. I have to try, which is fine. Musical Boy, another super chat. Thank you. You're hoping to collab with other VAs. If you want to reach out, just reach out. Most people have a business email in their, YouTube profile in their About tab. And I've done collabs with people who literally just reached out and just emailed me and were like, hey, I've got an idea. Do you want to do a collab? And most people, if they have the time, are pretty open to it. Like, this is a very collab-friendly community. I've done collabs with Vixie, with Pine Cat, with Miss Rivers. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that people just want to kind of work together. And my rule of thumb tends to be, well, there's two things. One, I have to have the time for it, of course. And two, I have to like the script. If someone sends me a script and says, this is your part, what do you think? And I feel like it's well written, I feel like it's, a good character, it feels like something I could comfortably play, then yeah, absolutely. That's fun. And all I have to do is do the recording and clean it up and send it back to the person, and they put it all together. So I have yet to host any collabs myself because there is a lot of work in it. You have to, do all that reaching out. You've got to get people to say yes. You've got to give them the script, so you've got to have it all written. You've got to ask them to turn it around in a certain amount of time. Even if they do their own post work on it, you might still have more of that to do, and then you've got to assemble it yourself. So, it's very labor intensive if you want to do your own collab. And the more characters you incorporate, the harder it is. But absolutely, if it's something you want to do, I don't know any creators that are against people just reaching out and just being like, hey, do you have time for this? And the worst they could say is no, or they just, don't respond at all. But, it's worth a shot. So, let's see. Am I planning on doing more for special needs people? Those are tricky. I don't mind doing them if somebody from those communities reaches out to me and says, hey, like the blind one was somebody who was visually impaired who reached out to me and was like, this is something that I think there'd be a good place for in the community. And I worked with that person. Like, we worked together on making sure that it was going to be a respectful, and I asked a lot of questions, like, what sort of things are you talking about? Like, what sort of concerns do you have? What sort of, how can I do this in a way that's going to be beneficial? And they gave me a lot of great feedback and a lot of great guidance. And when it was done, they approved it. I'm pretty sure I sent it to them early and said, please let me know if this is what you had in mind. And they were super excited about it. So that would be how I would do. Like, if somebody from a different community reached out to me and said, hey, I'd really love it if you did something like this, I would hope they'd be willing to work with me on what that looks like and what that sounds like, because I don't feel comfortable representing a community that I'm not a part of unless I'm basically just amplifying the voice of somebody who is a part of those communities. So, and I'm happy to do that. I just, I'm not going to initiate that necessarily because I don't want to appropriate anything that I am not directly impacted by. And if I do it, I absolutely want to be as respectful as possible. So yeah, I'm always open to that sort of thing. And there's other topics too that I tend to not get too into because, you can't get too into things like medical, like super deep medical issues or super deep, even like the stronger suicidal thought type stuff. Like, as much as, like, I like to make my audios supportive in a more general sense because I don't want it to seem like I'm giving actual medical advice or actual, health advice. And even when I put a disclaimer on stuff, I just want it to be clear that, everybody's different. I am not a medical professional. I have a degree in psychology, but I don't practice clinical psych. I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, I'm very careful not to do any harm, I suppose, and try to make my audios as supportive in a broad sense as possible so they can apply to a lot of circumstances, anxiety, depression, just OCD, being in a dark place, intrusive thoughts, stuff like that. And the intrusive thoughts one was probably as specific as I would feel comfortable getting as far as a problem like that, because I have intrusive thoughts. I know what that feels like. So I don't feel too bad speaking to that. And I also, I struggle with anxiety, I struggle with depression, like a lot of people. There's a lot of things that I have experienced, and I feel okay with at least sharing some, for lack of a better word, almost like a peer counseling vibe. Like, I'm here, I know what you're going through, I felt it, I'm a good listener, I can offer some general sort of guidance or advice, but not like actual medical advice or anything like that. Do I have a favorite anime? Oh my God. How do you choose a favorite anime? There are so many. I mean, I love Assassination Classroom. I love Promise Neverland Season 1. I'm not enjoying Season 2. I'm annoyed. I love Ouran High School Host Club. I enjoyed the first season of SAO. Then it got weird. What else? Oh God, the problem is I watch a lot of anime, and they start to run together in my head. Like I'll binge watch like a 12 or 13 episode season of something, and then basically forget that I did it. Noragami is good. I watched that one a few times actually. Astro Lost in Space is good, even though it's like teenagers playing Among Us, but for real. Yeah, there's Danganronpa. That's a good one if you really like messed up shit, but in a good way. I plan on doing a part 2 to Saving the Superhero. That's one that's sort of in the hopper. Like, there's a lot of them. Obviously, you guys have probably noticed by now, I don't tend to close the book on anything. Like, most of my audios, even if there's an arc that is finished, is left, it's left open enough that I can continue that arc if I want to. And the Saving the Superhero one, I mean, that was meant to be a one-off, like many of them are. But I will never say never. There's always a chance that I will come back to it and, continue that story. And obviously I will link to the first part because it's been a long time and people will have forgotten. But I enjoyed that one. I liked how it turned out. And sometimes the ones that turn out the best for me, like they turn out so well in my head that like I almost don't want to continue them because I just like how they sort of encapsulate what I was getting at and what I was trying to do. And then I just leave it at that. Like that was the story I wanted to tell. And for now, that's as far as it goes. But, if I wake up one day and go, oh my God, I have the best idea ever for continuing that story, then yeah, I'm definitely going to do it because, if the inspiration is there, of course I am. But I'm not going to brute force it. Like some of these I will brute force because I have committed to an arc or something and I'm going to make it happen. But, for the ones like that, like I like so much how it turned out that I don't want to weaken it by telling more of it if I'm not super into it, if that makes sense. Like sometimes the best stories are the ones that you just stop telling when you get to a good place. So, okay, let's see. I have missed so much. Hold that thought. Mir, M-I-R, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you for the birthday wishes. Robert Armstrong, oh my God, $100. Happy birthday and thank you. You are so welcome. I appreciate that. And Kabir, happy birthday, love your audios. Thank you. Thank you for that super chat. That's so nice, you guys. That was really sweet of you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm a little overwhelmed, honestly. You guys, you're so supportive and you're so sweet. And I never expected this sort of experience when I started this. I honestly thought I would be speaking into a void and nobody would hear me. And that's just what would happen. And that's how it was going to go down. And it's turned out to be so much bigger and better than I ever thought it was going to be. So the Persian mythology one, I'm glad you liked that. The Petty, yeah, she's another one that I've been toying with bringing back. That was another mythology that I wasn't super familiar with out of the gate. Like I'm trying to sort of push my own limits a little bit and go into mythologies that I don't know a lot about. So that one was another research heavy one. And it's especially fun when you get into mythologies where there's a lot of disagreement even within the lore about how stuff happens or who these people are or what their powers are. Like different sources have different information. So you just have to sort of distill that and be like, all right, well, I'm going to be loyal to this source. And if anybody asks, like, I'll point them in this direction. Like I'm getting to the point where I'm going to start putting citations in my descriptions because I get so deep into these things. And then I also get interested. So I'll spend I'll tell myself, okay, I'm going to take 15 minutes. I'm going to do this research. 2 hours later, I'm like knee deep in Persian history and, loving every minute of it, and I've completely forgotten where I am or who I am. So, thoughts on Obi-Wan Kenobi? Am I meant to think about Obi-Wan Kenobi? I mean, I do. I think about him constantly, for what that's worth. Is there a story behind my channel name? Actually, yeah, the channel name is a little bit to do with that whole mythology thing, because I was such a mythology nerd as a kid. And I like the nymph characters because they always seemed kind of badass to me. Like, they were always women, and they were always strong and powerful, and they protected these different aspects of nature, and God forbid you crossed them. Like, they had a way of wreaking havoc. But as much as I like nature, and I like hiking, I like, kayaking, things like that. Where I live, I tend to like to be more urban. I like to be in cities. I like to be where there are many restaurants and things to do, and, emergency services very close by, things like that, which I pay the price for now with, sirens and crap all the time. But so I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, couldn't a nymph be like a protector spirit of a city instead of a tree? Like, wouldn't that be something? And so, yeah, I decided urban nymph was a thing. I decided if there was going to be that sort of character, it would be me, because I'm happy to be a badass nymph, but I have to live where there is stuff to do. So, sorry, nature. You're on your own. I did a collab with Vixie. Yeah, I played Christina in her Superstar Experience series. So there's like 4 or 5 of those. I want to say I did 4 of them. One of them was very heavy into the backstory of my character. I think like the 3rd one, maybe. But yeah, that was my character. Yeah, I know a lot of games and movies and stuff will bend to stories to make a better narrative, and that's absolutely legit. Like, obviously, mythology is massageable. You can meld that stuff to your needs because it was massaged at the time. A lot of it is oral history. A lot of it is, like I talked about before, very sources that disagree with each other about how things went down. And so there's a lot of wiggle room there. You can say, well, this is another version of that story, or this is another, tale based on that lore, and get away with it. It's totally fine. Like, you don't have to be locked in. But when I tell these stories, if I'm using characters that are like Helen of Troy or Freya or any of those people, I feel like I should at least attempt to tell a story based around the existing lore before I start making up my own. And I did massage a little. I mean, there are parts that are, like, obviously the Loki crossover thing, that there's no Greek mythology that involves a Loki crossover. But I still felt like it. I thought it would be fun. So, and then things like the vampire thing, I just said, screw it. I hate existing vampire lore. I don't like I never understood the whole, I get it from a superstition perspective. I get that, they don't have reflections because mirrors at the time were made of silver, and silver rejects the unnatural, rejects the unholy, and therefore they don't have reflections. Well, modern mirrors aren't made of silver, and also, if it has mass and reflects light, it has a reflection. Like, the science part of my brain will not allow me to go down the superstition wormhole too far. Same with the garlic, same with the sunlight. Like, my vampires are basically normal people with some added features, a little stronger, a little longer lived, need to drink blood, things like that, but that's really it. And it's funny to me because there are so many different tellings of vampires. Like, look at Twilight, sparkly vampires, things like that. People have taken those stories and, made what they want out of it. But I will still get people commenting on my audios like, what do you mean she looked in the mirror? Vampires don't have a reflection. It's like, but mine do, because I said so. Like, I don't agree with them not having a reflection, so they have a reflection. Like, it's my story. You can tell your own. But yeah, that's that kind of lore I can definitely massage and play with, because I just don't like it. I don't like being bound by rules that make no logical sense. So, what else we got? Silver Hat. I almost said Sylvester. Silver Hat. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for inspiring me. You have to do schoolwork now. Oh, sorry about the schoolwork. Carlton Banks. Thank you for the super chat as well. Did I really sing? No, I did not sing in Superstar Experience. And she didn't even ask me to, which I'm kind of glad. But no, that was all. I don't know who did the singing for that, but it was not me. What is my accent? Do I have an accent? I was born and raised in the Midwest of the United States. I have lived in various other places. My dad was in the Navy when I was little, and I lived in Pensacola, and I did slightly develop a bit of a Southern accent when I lived there, which comes out on occasion. I channeled it for the Sugar Plum Fairy because I figured it was a good time to bust it out, but... Which, again, I feel like that was one of those audios that some people didn't listen to because they expected something in particular from a Sugar Plum Fairy, and it's not at all what you would expect, because it's me. You guys know how much I love to subvert the tropes. Okay, what else? How to become interested in doing the channel? To this day, I'm not sure. I don't know what made me decide to start talking into a microphone. I'm glad I did, but I don't know. Let's see. What do I work as? Like my day job, I work in communications for a software company. My background, I have a degree in psychology and also journalism. And I use that to do a variety of communications type stuff, marketing, things like that. That's my background. Wholeheartedly agree on SAO. I know, right? Like why? And then of course SAO Abridged has kind of ruined me for actual SAO. Also Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Really, I love the Abridged, but like I can't take the actual show seriously after I've watched the Abridged. It's just too damn funny. And the number of times in a week that I'll be like, all these squares make a circle. I crack myself up. I am a weeb. That's fine. I'm totally a weeb. Yes, it's a snoring dog. That's Princess. She's she's a little red, like, pocket pit bull. I say pocket. She's small for a pit bull, but she's like 55 pounds. Mostly density. She's not tall or, imposing, but she is thick. She's my dummy thick dog. She's a little rescue, and she snores. And she's one of the features of the Twitch streams is the snoring of Princess in the background. Also, I have channel points that let people give her treats, and people are always keen to give her treats, even though they know that she's like a terrible dog and she keeps me awake. And yeah, you're sleeping now. You better sleep tonight. Because I streamed last night. I streamed from like 9 to midnight last night. And then after that, this little princess was like, you know what? I don't really feel like sleeping anymore. Let's take a walk. I was like, okay. So I walked her. And then she's like, I don't feel like going to bed. I'm not going to stay in bed. So I ended up laying down on the couch with her for a couple of hours trying to get her to settle. And then I finally got her ass to bed at like 2 a.m. And then she was up at like 5 licking her feet right next to me. Like, oh, is this bothering you? So yeah, she's kind of on my shit list right now. But that's okay. Have I seen JoJo's? I've seen parts of JoJo's. I've never actually sat and watched it. Favorite audio that I've ever made? Oh gosh. Script-wise, my favorite is probably the Kudere Alien series. It was hard. That was a hard one to do from a delivery standpoint because of the voice having to be so like basically like 7 of 9 meets Data from Star Trek. Like very, very, very monotone and enunciated out the ass, but I loved that story. Like I was really proud of myself for how I took that story and how I wrapped it up in the end, and I'm not going to spoil it, but like I really enjoyed that one. So the outcome, I was happy with that one. As far as like favorite to do, I mean, I always like doing the Vampire Roommates because she is by far the character who is the most like me. Like she's like I don't act really when I'm doing Vampire Roommate. I just talk. So those are fun. Plus I know like I enjoy doing those because I know people like her and they like the story. So those are always a good time. Happy birthday. Thank you. Will you ever hear more from the Soon Mermaid? Again, that's another one that I might bring back. I'm giving it some thought. If something occurs to me. Because that was one that, unlike the Kudere Alien, I couldn't really think of a good way to keep those characters together. And obviously not every story I tell is a is a hookup at the end. You know, sometimes they're just friends, sometimes they part ways, and that's fine. That's okay. And I do plenty of friends to lovers and plenty of like girlfriend and wife type audios where there's already an established relationship and it's just sort of understood and implied. So I feel like some of those stories are okay just being what they are. But I couldn't really figure a way to keep those two characters in the same universe. You know, it's like the whole a bird may love a fish, but where would they live? There's not an easy way to do that. How much do my commissions go for? I actually don't do commissions right now. I briefly toyed with that on Patreon. I created a Patreon tier specifically for commissions. And it just didn't really, A, it didn't get a lot of traction. And B, it just, it didn't seem, I just never really felt like I was doing him justice. Like people have very specific what they really want. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like super hard on myself, but I always feel like I'm not doing exactly what people have in their heads. There's no way I could never be exactly what they want. So any more videos with Laurel? Oh, that voice hurts my face. But yeah, maybe it's possible. What mythology is my favorite? It varies. Like I go through phases where I'm like, oh God, I'm so into the Greek stuff right now. And then I go through phases where I'm like, oh, Egyptian, that's where it's at. So yeah, there's just so many, and there's such great stories. And there's so much overlap between them. Like a lot of the stories are the same, just different characters. Tokyo Ghoul, I did start that one. I haven't finished it. Rising the Shield Hero, I've watched. I love that one. One Punch Man, I've watched. No Game, No Life, I've watched. And oh my God, when is that going to get a second season? Like if they can bring back like how not to summon a demon lord and Dragon Maid and all these things that are getting second seasons, I would like my No Game, No Life second season, please. Like I am there for it. I bought the frickin' manga for that one because I wanted to know where the story was going to go. So yeah. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm kind of far back. I need to scroll a bit. How long is the stream going to be? Maybe another hour. I usually run these a couple hours. Big birthday. Ghosts don't have a reflection. Yeah, sorry about it, Rule. We're just fortunate when Rule makes an appearance. Like, he's a literal ghost. He just pops out on occasion. Although now he has begun streaming. And if you don't follow him on Twitch, you should because he's pretty freaking hilarious. And he's way better at video games than me. So yeah, twitch.tv/RuralSpectre. Yeah, I know I'm really far behind. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I get off on these tangents and I just talk and then I realize that the chat has moved on without me. The weirdest American accent is a mix between New Yorker and yeehaw? Huh. I have not spent enough time in Maryland, apparently. The Death series, yeah, I like the Death series too. Ceci was a fun character to play because she's a lot more of a badass than I am. Hey, fellow journalist. Hey, I don't actually consider what I do journalism because journalism requires such a dedication to the truth. At least the way I learned it. And going into the communications department of really any company is learning how to spin. It's not that you're not being truthful, it's that you're putting emphasis on things that maybe the pure journalist in you would not emphasize. And it was a little painful at first to parse the difference, but I got there. So, yeah, the crying was real. Happy birthday to your face. Thank you. My face says thank you. God damn it, chat. Will you stop popping? What I mean by real cry, I mean really crying. Like, if you hear me crying in an audio, that's actual crying. I will trigger myself to actually cry because it sounds more real that way. I don't like the fake stuff. I don't like pretending. I've discovered inadvertently that method acting is actually the easiest and laziest way to do things because then you're just doing it instead of acting. I have a whole new respect for Daniel Day-Lewis based on that because, like, dude, you figured it out. You cracked the code. Just be that thing, and then you're not acting. Yay! Hurts my face. Yeah, certain voices that I do, I have to pull my face into weird shapes to do them. And they're hard to sustain. So, like, the hardest one was Pepper the Imaginary Friend. Pepper was hard. Pepper was basically Annie from League of Legends, and making that voice for, more than a few lines is like it's a jaw thing. What else? Yes, exactly. More No Game No Life. Bring me the No Game No Life. I need it. Any special birthday plans? My parents brought me cake this morning. That was nice. Other than that, I'm not sure. I'm probably just going to chill. Thanks to the princess making sure that I got so little sleep last night, I don't intend to do a whole lot for the rest of the day if I can help it. I took off today from my day job so that I could do this with you guys, and I do not regret it because this is a way better way to spend my day. Rural is awesome. Yes, he is. Rural is a legit gamer. Like, Rural actually knows how to win games. I just show up and dick around and, like, kill bats in Minecraft. So, which is never going to stop, by the way. I've got a taste for bat blood now. I'm gonna kill all the bats. Y'all can't stop me. Can I do a Russian accent? Probably not. I don't really do accents. Like, if I haven't lived it and actually, like, spoken it, it's hard for me to fake it. Like, the southern accent I grew up with a little bit, so that one comes a little easier. But, yeah, I'm not really an accents person. I'm not that good an actor, you guys. Like, I'm really not. I'm not. I chose to be a kitsune for an audio. That was one of the Olympian patron audios, and it wasn't specifically a kitsune. That one was the first one of that was the party, the Halloween party, where everybody starts to change, and it turns out the listener is not any sort of extranatural being, is just a regular human. I went with kitsune for that because the patron who requested that was not specifying what I should be. It was just the general idea of that party with everybody changing. I went with kitsune because it felt like probably the most non-threatening in that scenario. That if you're at a party and everybody's, wolfing out, basically, like, what would be the easiest to look over and see next to you. And plus I hadn't done a kitsune before, so it seemed like a good fit. That's kind of where that came from. Let's see. Yeah, actual crying is difficult on your throat and your nose and everything. Yeah, that is legit. Automatic bat killer farm in Minecraft. See, this is an ongoing thing with my Twitch chat, is that... Okay, so to recap the story, the first time I encountered a bat in Minecraft, because I'd never played Minecraft before I started streaming it on Twitch. I had seen people play it. I had seen all the parodies. I'd seen all the streams. I'd seen a shit ton of it, but I just never sat down and played it myself. So I decided I was going to do that. I was mining. I was getting down to where there was, a cave with baddies in it. And this bat flew out. And I could hear, the zombies and the skeletons, everything was coming, and this bat flew out. And I thought the bat was bad because it came out of the place where all the bad things were, so I killed it. And everybody got mad at me, and they were all like, oh no, the bat's not actually evil, the bats are neutral, why'd you kill it? And I'm like, because it came out of the place with the bad things. Like, it's the harbinger of death, it's there. It's like everything behind it is trying to kill me. Why do I not think it's going to kill me? So I killed it. After that, I more or less sort of promised not to do that anymore. But then, like a couple of weeks ago, there was a bat out in the broad daylight near my house in Minecraft, just flying around. And it was like, why? Why is it out? And then I was like, well, maybe this bat is rabid. This bat shouldn't be out in the daylight at my house. Like, it should be somewhere dark and quiet for the day. And maybe I need to put it down and, put it out of its misery. And chat told me not to. And they got mad, so I didn't kill it. And I've regretted it ever since. And then last night in my birthday stream, it returned. And it was doing the same thing where it was flapping around in broad daylight. And I had just about enough of that shit, so I killed it. And it was fun. And I'm starting to not care that they're neutral because, yeah, I don't care. So, yeah. Hap Burf. Thank you, Flexi. Have I watched Gurren Lagann? I have not. Any tips or advice for someone wanting to start a channel? Yeah, lots of it. Obviously, if you're just getting started and you're not sure you're going to want to keep doing it, I recommend what I did. Buy a cheap mic, like, something small, record in the closet because it's quiet. Use Audacity because it's free and it's actually really good. Like, I don't use any other audio editing software even now. I like Audacity. And script yourself. Write scripts for yourself and tell a story. Decide what story you want to tell and tell it. Like, a lot of this comes down to the storytelling. Like, the voice is important, and of course you want to, do your best with that. But honestly, like, if you're telling a good story, that's what people stick around for. Like, they want to hear the good story. So decide what you're going to tell and script it. And I'm going to give the same advice I always give with the scripts, which is the two main things that bother me, that please don't do this. The first one is, when you're addressing the listener, don't say their name, because people don't do that in conversation. When you're talking to your friend Bob, let's say, you don't start every sentence with, "Hey Bob," or "Bob, did you see this?" No, you're talking to Bob, so you just say, "Hey, did you see this?" Saying people's names out loud in a conversation doesn't generally happen unless you're talking about them and not to them. But when you're talking to somebody, you just don't. It's just not part of a normal cadence. The other thing that bothers me is when people repeat questions back because they don't trust the listeners to determine what's been said based on the context clues. So I'll give the same example I always give. If you're scripting dialogue where the listener is asking you, "How was your day?" If your line for yourself is, "Oh, you want to know how my day was?" "Oh, it was fine." That is incredibly awkward because nobody says that. Nobody repeats questions back before they answer them like that. That's not normal dialogue. That's not a good flow. So, and you're also, again, you're not trusting the audience. The audience can tell a lot from the context clues. So instead, you would just say, "Ugh, my day sucked. How was yours?" And therefore you can tell the listener must have just asked a question about your day. And it's not rocket science, but just a normal cadence of conversation. Like, it's interesting to me how many people, when they write, lose the ability to speak like a normal dialogue, because something about writing changes something in their brains where it's like, now I have to go into write mode. And write mode is not like a normal speaking dialogue for some reason for a lot of people. And I'm not saying everybody, and I'm, obviously this is not necessarily a mistake that everybody does, but I see it a lot with VAs and stuff, with the whole repeating questions back and saying names out loud. And it just knocks me out of the immersion every time, because that's just not how people talk. Like, they don't talk like that. And in my case, I do my best to pace the dialogue in a way that you can really pick up on what your character is meant to be saying, even if you don't necessarily agree with. Like, some people kind of freak out. They're like, "Oh my God, I was in my head, I was speaking right along with you and I was getting it all right." And it's like, that's great. That's awesome. You and I are on the same page. If that wasn't happening, that's cool too, because you can still figure out what I was getting at. And I also script every pause, every every yeah, every whatever, like every time I open my mouth or close it, that's on the script, because I want total control over that and I want it to be as natural as it can be. So as I'm writing, I'm basically saying it in my head. I'm talking to myself and saying, okay, right here, we're going to leave a couple of seconds. Oh, and that's the other thing. Make sure you leave a long enough pause for the listener to actually respond when you're doing a dialogue, because if you speak too quickly, there is no way that the listener has had any chance to say anything to you before you've responded, and then that also ruins the immersion. Now, that said, sometimes you can't leave as much time as you need to. Like, there are times when I actually use a shorter pause than I want to, because in an actual conversation, it might be a 4 or 5 second pause, but in an audio, that's too long. That you're going to lose people doing that. So you have to chop it a little bit and hope that nothing is lost as far as the pacing goes. But yeah, that's the process I recommend. So now I need to scroll back, figure out what I missed, because I was talking a long time. Let's see. Bats are sky puppies. That is, in real life, yes. In Minecraft, they have to die. I hope you're the happiest person in the world today. Aw, that's really sweet. Thank you. You only call people by their names all the time. That's tragic. Alan, I know you get me. Alan gets me. Godzilla or Kong? Why is everybody asking me that? I already answered it. It's Mothra. Come on. ASMR videos would be a lot less brain power consuming if the audience was given a script. I mean, I've had people leave comments where they do that. They literally script their half, at least for, a few of the lines, because they like it. They think it fits. So sometimes you can check the comments. Somebody might have already done that. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? As much wood as a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. The Winter Party is your favorite because of how eerily similar the beginning dialogue is to your experience. Yeah, and this again is something that that is both a blessing and a curse for me. Is when it comes to the wish fulfillment, friends to lovers, romance stuff, I am incredibly allergic to unrealistic playouts, how these things unroll. I've never been comfortable with the ones, like a 5-minute audio where it starts with, oh, hey, good to see you, and ends with, oh my God, I've always loved you. Like, I can't do it. I can't get my brain to allow that to happen because in my head, that is bad storytelling. And it's not to say it doesn't work. Obviously, again, it's wish fulfillment. If somebody wants to tell a very short story about a very quick romantic attraction and not really go into the details of it, that's cool. And I mean, I loved fairy tales when I was a kid too. I was all in for Ariel marrying Prince Eric, after 3 days because I was a kid and I thought that was romantic, and that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of dumb cheese out there that exists to be harmless, fun, harmless escape from the reality. But I have a really hard time in my brain when I start writing a script. I can't just do that. I have to have backstory. I have to have the established, here's what's happening with these characters. Here's how long they've known each other. Here's what they have in common. Here's the situation they're in right now. And that's why a lot of my friends to lovers, I mean, there might be some making out, but there's never like a sweeping, oh my God, I will love you forever type of confession. It's more of a, okay, well, let's see how this goes. Because that's how relationships work, at least for me. And it's like, we don't have to make any promises. We don't have to make any giant leaps. Let's just, let's hold hands and see where it goes. And to me, that is the most natural way to play it out. And I realize that for some people, that's a little anticlimactic or a little less wish fulfillment than they want. And it's something I should probably work on doing better. More of the fairy tale type ending, less of the actually being at the party with somebody that you're friends with. But I don't know. I maybe it's the journalist in me. I have such a hard time letting go of the realism aspect. And maybe it's also because like I said, I'm not a great actor, and it would be harder for me to act in a way that doesn't make sense in my head. Like if the progression doesn't follow, my brain's going to be like, wait, what? No, we wouldn't say that. We wouldn't, that's not how people talk. And I would get completely derailed by that. So, yeah. But yeah, I like the Winter Party as well. Isn't Mothra dead? Then I have no idea if Mothra is dead. I have completely lost the plot on the Godzilla versus King Kong stuff. Do I have any more tsunderes planned? I do. Nothing concrete yet, but I actually just the other day made a note to myself to do more tsunderes. So you're in luck. Those are coming. I really hate your game suggestion. I apologize. I missed your game suggestion. But I'm always open to game suggestions. I have a lot of games that I haven't even played yet. I need to. All his friends to lovers are unrealistic because you need friends first. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Holding hands is absolutely lewd. I know. I said I don't do NSFW content, but honestly, like, the hand holding, you really can't. You can't not. I mean, it's such an important part of every relationship. Even though it's lewd, like you have to. You're 100% here for those let's see how this goes kinds of conclusions. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like that there people seem to get it or like how that lands because, and like I said, I do plan to do a little more. I plan to work a little harder at trying to deliver more of the very unrealistic wish fulfillment stuff because I absolutely acknowledge there is a place for it. I was a fairy tale kid myself, so it doesn't have to make sense for it to be a good story. It doesn't have to make sense for it to be a good romance for, 10 or 15 minutes of listening time that leaves you feeling pretty good about yourself. That's not. And part of it too is just I don't know. I am a hopeless romantic, but I'm also aware of my own limitations and aware of the limitations of a relationship. I'm not on board with, put it this way, like I can absolutely say that I would love somebody forever. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work forever, like it may not. And that's, people come and go in and out of our lives throughout our lives. There's people that are a good fit for one stage of your life that maybe aren't for a different stage of your life. And I have a big heart and I have a lot of love to give and I'm okay with that. I can recognize that. And I can also recognize that I change, other people change. And if you don't change in the same direction as people, there's really nothing you can do about that. I mean, you can try to change together. You can try to walk the same path, but if you look up one day and you're on a different path than the other person and you don't know how that happened, sometimes it is what it is. It doesn't necessarily change the feelings. And one of the hardest things in the world is to love somebody and know that it's probably not the best thing to be with them. And, that's sort of a tragic reality of a lot of relationships. And that, again, that's okay. It happens. And I'm not going to write that, other than the breakup one that I did, because the breakup one that I did was very much tapping into that idea of you can absolutely care about somebody and love them with all your heart and recognize that this is just not where you need to be right now. And it's nobody's fault, it's nobody did anything wrong. Nobody, it just happens. And so that was sort of an acknowledgement of that. And it wasn't a fun one to do. And I didn't, I've been in that position in my life. I haven't enjoyed it. But, sometimes it's the healthiest path. And so, yeah, I'm absolutely romantic, like to the bone. And I feel like I'm pretty good at relationships in general. But, there's a lot that's not in your control. So I just try to let the whole let's see how it goes thing unspool. And, it's like they say, there are no happy endings because nothing ends. Things change, but the idea of a happy ending, like happiness isn't a goal, it's a journey. You're walking it every day. And if you think one thing or one person or one whatever is going to bring happiness and after that it's going to be perfect, smooth sailing, no amount of effort needed, then yeah, that's not going to be easy for you. So, now I gotta scroll back again. I talk too much. Can I do more wife role plays? Yeah, a lot of the girlfriend ones are also wife ones because I don't really specify the relationship dynamic. It's just an established relationship where the two characters live together and are clearly romantically involved. And, I leave it open because some people have experience with a spouse, some people have experience with a girlfriend, some people have, everybody's experience is different. So in those situations, you can interpret it whatever is the best fit for you and your experience. Undo 30 years of narcissist programming or bad programming from narcissist parents. Yeah, everybody's going through some shit. There's a lot of people that are experiencing that as well. And it's a journey. Again, being the best you can be and being happy and all that is a process. That is just a path. And some days are better than others. But, put one foot in front of the other. It's the best you can do. No dating before marriage. Thank you, Rural. Any plan for the werewolf and vampire couple to meet up? Probably not, because I would have to voice more than one character in that audio, and that, considering that my character voices don't really vary a whole lot, that would be very confusing. It's also why I won't voice more than one character in the same universe. Like, I would never play a registry character in the Vampire Roommate universe, because that's just too confusing. Like, in that universe, my voice is that character, and that's the only character. Let's see. No hand-holding before marriage. Aw, come on. It's just, it's fine. You can wear gloves. There you go. The witch wife is in modern times or medieval. It's up to you. In my head, it was modern times. Like, somebody who graduated from Hogwarts, let's say, or something like that. But you can, if there's a way for you to interpret it your way, you're more than welcome to do it. You like the normal girlfriend/wife ones because they seem achievable? Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Again, I'm terrible at wish fulfillment, and I'm better at trying to keep it realistic, sometimes to a fault. Would I ever do a sequel to the post-apocalyptic scavenger? Possibly. That's another one that I left open for a reason. They're off on a great explorer. They're on the ship powered by nanites. We'll see where they end up. And I could very easily crash them somewhere else. I could very easily land them somewhere safely. And there's a lot of things we could do with that story. I probably will at some point, because that's another one that I will think about coming back to off and on and try to motivate myself. But I don't want to brute force it. I'm studying to work in film and TV with a primary focus on sound. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, definitely enjoy it. It's fun to get into. I've learned so much just starting this channel and learning like little tricks in Audacity. Like it's easy to Google, oh, how do I make this sound effect in Audacity? And somebody will have already figured it out and told me how. So happy birthday. Thank you. I'm glad I helped make the last year not completely suck. Yeah, nobody anticipated when I started this channel that we were going to be jumping into a pandemic. Yay. We want Spanner. Okay. See, when the cat is more popular than the other characters, I get it. I get how it is. I see how it is. It's not about the scavenger. It's not about the listener. It's about the cat. It's always about the cat. I see through you guys. You ain't sly. I see you. You hear that, princess? They like the cat. I know, right? What's wrong with them? It's cats. Cats are stupid. Yeah, they're mean. I mean, my cat's stupid and mean. I don't know about your guys' cats, but... am I caught up? I think I may actually be caught up. Wife and kids role play. When you say an established role play, you mean like an ongoing series? So that instead of just a general sort of these two people living together in a romantic relationship, it's established that it's a wife, it's established there are kids, it's established that certain things, like any other series, the parameters don't change. It's just not supernatural or not sci-fi or something like that. I mean, that's possible. I could do a sort of everyday type series, which is like a wife experience series. That could be interesting. Prototype Ninja, thank you for the super chat. Hope you have a good one. I hope you have a good one. Henry Parker, another super chat. Thank you. Super chats for Jesus. No hand holding, but fine. Speaking of Hogwarts, what house are you? Ravenclaw. Got to go for a bit. Okay. Drew a space cat. Cats are the best. Okay. I recognize there are some cats in the world who aren't as terrible as mine. Mine is a dick. And I say that with much love. I did not choose to have a cat. I'm allergic to cats. But he adopted me, showed up on the doorstep like 3 years ago, screaming. I think somebody like moved and left him behind because he was already neutered. He was very well fed. And he decided that he lives here now. So he does, and I don't understand this pushy, furry little shit that keeps coming into my face and being like, give me all the things I want. And I grew up with dogs. I'm unaccustomed to the attitude. So, yeah. My cat has social anxiety. Oh, I wish my cat had social anxiety sometimes. He's so demanding. Like, if he could just not be like that for a second. Extra-natural universe did exist. What creature would I want to be? I don't know. I mean, if the vampires were like my vampires, I'd be cool with that. The kitsune is actually pretty cool. The wolf girl, that's also a beautician. She's kind of fun. Something fairly harmless. Opinion on pancakes. Pancakes are amazing. Pancakes with like bananas and pecans. Why can't the witch wife have the cat along with the listener having the house dragon? I think in my head, the house dragon would probably see the cat as a snack. The house dragon, in the original house dragon audio, which was of course inspired by you guys in one of the first live streams I ever did, the house dragon's like a little bit bigger than like a Labrador Retriever, like a pretty good sized, like large dog sized dragon. And I just don't feel like a cat would be safe in that environment. Thoughts on recording a script with my fans? I don't know. Like, I don't generally write scripts with extra characters. And again, I don't tend to spearhead collabs because that's just a lot of work. And I recognize, even just like dealing with other people's collabs, like seeing some of the work other people do, it can be really hard because everybody involved has different levels of quality, like as far as their mics, as far as the quietness of the place they're recording in, as far as their ability to clean things up in post, if they even do, or if they just send the raw audio and leave it to the original creator to do that. There's a lot of different factors that go in to that I don't know if I'm ready to take on balancing all that to make a cohesive and coherent audio that flows. But if I ever have an idea for a script that involves multiple characters and I can't see a way around it where I actually do need some other people to be talking, then yeah, I'd probably open it up, either reach out to some other VAs, or I might, see if anybody in the community wants to, or I could even make like a Patreon tier for that. Be like, hey, you want to be in an audio? Like, that's doable. Nova, you just joined my Patreon. Thank you. Be sure to join the Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. Let's see. Very well fit. Yeah. The Discord gets to see a lot of pictures of my cat, and there's really no flattering angle to photograph him from. He's an unfortunate chonk. Let's see. Dogs are too clingy. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is a very clingy dog. I mean, she's very attached to my hip, but I kind of like it. It feeds into the part of me that likes to be needed. Pancakes or waffles? Ooh, stuffed French toast. Between the Soon Mermaid and the Laid by Vampire, my favorite's the vampire between those two. The Soon Mermaid, as much as I can play a Soon and as much as I was a Soon myself when I was like 14, it's not a super comfortable voice for me to do because I am generally not that much of a jerk. And I get that it's for a character, I get that it's a trope, but it's a little hard. But Vampire Roommate is literally just me talking. Like, this is just me, except with a blood addiction. God damn it. For Chonk screaming, see Link. Which character of mine do I identify with the most? Oh, definitely the Vampire Roommate, yeah. 100%. Yeah, people do drop off cats out in farms and like rural areas, and that's terrible. I hate that they do that. They just assume, I guess, that cats can fend for themselves, but it's a terrible, terrible thing, and it shouldn't happen. Patreon tier to duet Minecraft parodies? No. What have I said? I'm not going to sing. I need you to keep the stream going until 12:55. I'll do my best. My favorite mythical creature? Can I say nymphs? Because I really like them. That's why we exist. Jojokin, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Hydrate, redeem. Okay. All right, here we go. I did it. Let's see. The snoring is noisy. Yeah. Yes, it is. She's the deepest sleeper. I wish I could sleep as deeply as this dog. I'm so jealous of this dog. The audio of sweetnesses. Literally, okay, so I know sweetness is a thing you guys like. I know it's kind of my thing, and I'm great with that. I like it too. But I was sitting thinking, because Mondays tend to be my days to do like a supernatural or a sci-fi or something, fantasy. That's Mondays. The epic stories are on Mondays. Thursdays tend to be girlfriend/wife audios, comfort audios, playful audios, things like that. And then Saturdays are the myth alignments. And I was trying to think of what to do for that Thursday that was coming up. And I was having the hardest time. I was like, ugh, I just don't feel like doing another, oh my God, we're together in our apartment doing fun stuff. Like, I wasn't feeling it. And I was like, I wonder if I just said sweetness over and over. How would that turn out? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Obviously there was no script for that one. That was one of the few that was not scripted. And I just sat in my closet and said sweetness over and over for like 10 minutes. And, yeah, it turned out better than I thought. Honestly, it was like the snarky part of my brain that was like, what if I just do this? Like, this could be fun. Like, it was almost like trolling myself, but then it ended up being better than I thought. So, Henry Parker, oh my gosh, thank you for the super chat. How much money to duet Minecraft parodies? There isn't enough money in the world. You guys, come on. Like, you really don't want to hear me sing. You 100% don't. Like, I promise you, you don't. How much money to bring Pepper back? Pepper lives on inside your heart. That's where Pepper is. LGBT, right? I don't know what you're asking. Is the dog snoring? Yeah, the dog is snoring. Keep Vampire Roommate's favorite blood, B positive. Oh yeah, B positive is the jam. A slightly less common variety, but not too incredibly rare that it would be like, super expensive to get a hold of. Your blood type is whatever you want it to be. I mean, you could have that checked, What if we pay with fan art? I mean, y'all know I like fan art, but I'm still not gonna sing. Aw. The snoring isn't as bad as your lap. Yeah. Well, people take me out tonight for dinner and cake. Can't really go out. It's still a pandemic around here. But, I mean, places are open, but they shouldn't be. I don't plan to go out. I'm staying in tonight. I might make something. I haven't decided yet. You'll find my price. Yeah, good luck. Wait, let me do this right. Good luck. There you go. You uploaded the happy birthday song. Yay! I love the Discord. Discord is like one of my favorite things about this community, which I didn't expect it to be a thing, but like of all the perks on like Patreon and Twitch, it's by far one of my favorite. Like, it's such a wholesome community. It's such a great little corner of the internet. Like, everybody is so sweet and so supportive. If anybody's having a bad day, everybody comes out to support and be there and listen and, offer advice if it's necessary. People post pictures of their pets and food, and we have such a good time. And of course, every Friday, except for today, I did it yesterday, we do the Foreign Food Friday at lunchtime where we all hop in the VC and I eat weird foods and then we talk about it. And then we talk about random shit. We talk about snakes with arms. We talk about candy floss, sheep on sticks. The sheep end of the stick, I think, was the best way to describe that. None of this makes any sense without the context, but trust me, it's fun. So, Fod, thank you. Thank you for the super chat sticker, dude. He's cute. He's a corgi. Corgis! I love it. Okay. Sorry, I'm scrolling. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything. I do live in Florida. Yeah, it's chaotic to a point. I mean, the reason why the Florida Man articles are a thing is because our sunshine laws are extremely open. Like, police blotters and all that stuff is very public record. So any crazy ass thing some dude does down here will definitely be covered because it can be. That's all public. So that's why you hear a lot of Florida Man stories, is because we don't hide our shit. We just throw it out there. Now, granted, most other states you won't get the story of like a guy throwing an alligator through the window of the Wendy's or something. That's uniquely Florida. But, there's a reason. It's not necessarily the crazy. There's a lot of crazy, don't get me wrong. Florida's a very, it's not sure what it wants to be type of state. So, you want an audio with the listener was an extra natural? Yeah, I've done a few of those. The one where the wolfing out one, the listener is the werewolf, not me. So, yeah. And of course, in the vampire one, the listener's got the angel markers and all that stuff. Do I prefer crewmate or imposter? Crewmate all the way. I just want to do my tasks. Like, I hate being the imposter. I hate lying. Literally, when we played this, was it Rules? Yeah, it was Rules community stream the other day. I, like, shake with anxiety when I'm the imposter. Like, I cannot handle having to lie and, like, kill people. Like, it really messes with me. I'm so bad. I sweat. I'm so bad at it. I would rather just be a crewmate, do my tasks. If I get killed, I will continue to do my tasks. I'm very good at it. Let me do my tasks. Just do it. So, anyway. Is there going to be a part 2 of the Spider Queen? Never say never. That's another one I might bring back. I haven't decided. You will sing. Yeah, you know, you can think that all you want. It doesn't make it true. Why won't I sing? Because I don't want to. What made you want to start this? I have no idea. To this day, I don't know. I like audios. I don't know why I started making my own. It's the strangest thing. Your crazy aunt lives in Florida. Of course. Everybody's crazy aunt lives in Florida. My obsession with Diet Coke confuses you? Okay, a couple of reasons on that. One, I'm a small person. I like to stay that way. I don't like to drink calories. And Diet Coke doesn't have any calories. But it does have caffeine, which I love. I don't like coffee or tea. I don't, the other sources of caffeine that people use, I don't like. I don't like the flavor of. So Diet Coke gives me all the caffeine with none of the calories. That's lovely. Regular Coke has a shit ton of sugar in it, and I don't like drinking my calories. The other thing, too, is that my dad's a doctor, and when I was a kid, he'd have to get up at 5 in the morning and go make rounds. And he didn't like coffee or tea either, so he would drink Diet Coke. So we had it around the house. So, that was my soda growing up. And I'd, go out with my friends when I was in high school, and they'd always be like, oh, can I have a sip of your drink? And I'd be like, it's diet. And they'd be like, no, ew, never mind. And I realized I was going to never have to worry about anybody taking my drink. So it was like a trifecta of joy. I enjoyed it. I liked the taste because I was raised with it. I got all the caffeine without the calories, and my friends left my drinks alone. So yeah, it was the best possible. And now I'm just a complete addict, and I completely embrace that about myself. You're hearing a bear. You're hearing my dog. She's snoring. She is super deep sleep right now, right next to me. She kind of wraps herself around me. I'm on the edge of the couch, and she's curled up behind me with her head on one side and her butt on the other, and that's, that's her spot. So, let's see. How does one do tasks if they're already dead? That's how the game works. You do your tasks when you're dead. You can't do the sabotages, but you can do the other tasks. Yeah, the wolfing out one, that was the point. I wanted people to think maybe she didn't know. Maybe my character didn't know that the listener was a werewolf. And that was the twist. You guys know how I like twists. I do a lot of just straightforward audios, but where I can, I like to be playful. I like to kind of throw a wrench in it a little bit. Like the drunk confession that wasn't actually drunk, stuff like that. And that was where I went with the wolfing one. I thought it'd be kind of fun to be like, oh my God, they're not going to know. And then in the end, it's like, yeah, I know. And also your fur's getting all over the couch. That's what I have a problem with. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I entertained myself so much. Am I bad at singing? I don't know. How old am I? How old do you think I am? Speaking of Diet Coke, if I start to like it more. See? Diet Coke cult. I mean, club. Not a cult. Club. It's fine. I don't like tea. No, I don't like tea. I wish I liked tea. I know tea is good for you. I know it. I know it is. I would love to like tea. I just don't. And it makes me sad. The character do I do is my favorite. Probably the vampire roommate. I like her. A tiny mouse heart? Oh, God. That would be tragic. I need my caffeine. Drive by and say happy birthday. Will I ever do a face reveal? Nope, I won't do a face reveal because I want you guys to imagine exactly what you want to be imagining when you listen to the audios. I don't want you to be imagining my actual face. That's very limiting. That's just one face. If you don't see me, it's all kinds of faces. See how that works? You're the person who sparked my interest in having a vampire girlfriend. Oh, okay. Thanks. Are there actual vampire girlfriends out there? I feel like if there are, I should probably do more research because suddenly I'm co-opting a community that I don't know anything about. Instead of a face reveal, do like a hand reveal. I see. I just don't see the point in reveals. I know there's a lot of VAs out there who are like, oh, when I hit 1,000, I'll do a reveal. Like, it doesn't interest me. Like, I've got such an interest in my own privacy. I mean, and to be fair, I have some experience with being doxxed, with being stalked, with being harassed. You know, there's things in the past. I've had relationships where, you know, the other party was less inclined to be okay with me ending things and vociferously voiced their objections to that, let's say. So I don't want to use the word paranoid, but I'm extremely cognizant of protecting my privacy, protecting my real life, and, you know, ensuring that I don't put myself or anybody I care about at risk. And that's really the main thing. So, and I know there have been people that have been sort of driven out of these communities because they were doxxed and harassed, and I don't want to take any chances. I'm not there for that. You don't like ice cream? I'm sorry. You have my sympathy. I do like ice cream, but, you know, I'm not going to yuck your yum. Or yum your yuck, I guess. Let's see. I already have a dog reveal. Who is pinging me on... Oh, it's just Facebook birthday stuff. Okay. 400-year-old witch. I wish. Man, could you imagine how much knowledge you could accrue in 400 years? That'd be amazing. Yeah, you've seen Princess and Chonk, and that's all you need. Yeah, the dog and the cat are basically like the two halves of my personality half the time. Face reveal, but it's just Chonk. Wow, what a letdown that would be. See, now every time you listen to Vampire Roommate, you've got my fat orange cat in your head. Oh. See, that's just mean. I would never do that. I would never do that to you. Ice cream or sorbet? It depends on the mood I'm in. You know, ice cream is richer and, you know, kind of more luxurious, but sorbet is nice and light and palate cleansing. So, yeah, it's a mood thing. I really do not like mushrooms, no, in any context, pizza or otherwise. The funny thing about mushrooms is they're sort of like onions for me. Like, I like the smell of them being sauteed. Like, if you put some butter and garlic in a skillet and saute mushrooms and onions, I love how that smells, but I don't like the taste. It's a smell. And I like the smell of coffee too, but I don't like the taste. There's a lot of things that I like the smell of, but not the taste. So, will I make a Discord? I do have a Discord. It is for my patrons and my Twitch subscribers, because that way I can keep it, you know, small and cozy. And also I like that it's a perk. I like that I can provide that for people to support me in that way. And those people are such amazing people, and they make such a great community. And I couldn't ask for better patrons and Twitch subs, honestly. You guys are so good. What are you, like 40? Facebook? Yeah. I don't want to have a Facebook. I have it because of work, because part of what I do is social media stuff, and my job insists that I have it, and I'm not pleased. I would love to nuke the shit out of it, but yeah, so, and then because of that, all of my extended relatives are like, hey, it's you, happy birthday, so, yeah. Let's see. Do I agree that the capitalist system is severely flawed, as the workers are oppressed and silenced by the organization of bourgeoisie and the communist system that eliminate class divisions? Well, I mean, I'm with you on capitalism being severely flawed, and trickle-down economics doesn't work, and Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. Let's continue. You like the smell of shampoo but not the taste. See, that's a thing. That's legit. Am I a gamer? That's a question. I have been known to dabble in some games. I stream on Twitch twice a week, on my own channel and other people's channels other times. Whether I am any good is, I'm not any good. I'm not even going to pretend. I'm not good. I suck. I play mediocre games and I play them badly. So whether that qualifies me as a gamer, that's really on you. Would I rather be a speedster and time traveler or a superhuman strength immortal? Oh my god. I'm not sure I'd ever want to be immortal. Because, like, if you're the only one who is, then everybody you ever care about's gonna die. And you'll make new friends, and then they'll die. And it's like, if I could be immortal and also make other people immortal so we can all, like, party forever, then yeah, I'm there for it. But not by myself. That sounds lame. Yeah, the crying is real. My favorite color and flower. My color, I actually have two favorite colors, purple and like turquoise, like a teal turquoise. I like them both equally. I can't choose. Favorite flower, I'm kind of a purist. I like roses, but you know, flowers are flowers. Flowers are pretty. Like living in Florida, there's a lot of just like weed flowers, like really pretty, naturally occurring flowers that just grow as weeds, especially this time of year. And I like to take pictures of them, and I actually posted a bunch to my Instagram, made a little slideshow of my little flowers because I was like, wow, there's so many. And so many of them are either yellow or purple. Like, weirdly, the weed flowers gravitate towards yellow or purple. I'm sure there's a biological cause for that. I don't know what it is. I'm not a biologist. If olive oil is made from olives, then what is baby oil made from? Petroleum. What was the initial thing that sparked interest in mythology? Oh, God. I was a kid and I really dug it. Like, I feel like every kid goes through a mythology phase, and some of us grow out of it and some don't. Capitalism is just unfair when communism is okay on paper, but it always benefits. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Communism is one of those things that, like, in theory makes sense. In practice, you are not accounting for the inherent assholery of a great deal of people. You ever thought about being a voice actor? Yeah, I'd be happy to. If there was a gig that, you know, had a good script and a good part for me and stuff, I would be game for just about anything. I would do games, I would do anime, I would do whatever. Yeah, I'm up for it. Wild weed. Florida has medicinal weed. When I said weeds, I meant like, you know, wild growing, the kind that people like put Roundup on to kill them. Like my neighbors. Ugh. Let's see. Favorite mythology. Again, that kind of cycles. Like sometimes I like the Greek, sometimes I like the Egyptian. It's a mood thing. Lots of things are mood things for me. Go have fun with D&D. D&D is awesome. I've never played it, but I'm impressed with people who do. It seems like a great story/game. If I made my own mythology, which one I base myself? Probably Greek. Because we have, I mean, some mythologies we have richer records of than others. More stories, more extended universe, for lack of a better term. You know, some mythologies we have a lot of interesting information about, and that makes it easier to build on and play with, you know? I like that. So, probably that. Cheese. Cheese is a mood thing. What subject did I like in school? English. I looked forward to being assigned papers to write. I loved it. I was that kid. I guess it's really not that surprising I ended up here. When do I stream? Sunday nights and Thursday nights usually, generally around like 8 to 9 Eastern time in the evening for a couple hours at a time. It's a twitch.tv/urbannymph. And also, like on Saturdays, usually around 10 a.m. Eastern time, I'll stream on Fluxy's channel. It's it's Fluxy. F-L-U-X-Y, not Y-I. Jesus, my brain is melting. And that's usually a group thing. Rural usually joins us for that. Aqua usually joins us for that. And sometimes I will do like community night games and stuff, like Rural's community thing on this past Sunday with Among Us. I did that. And I'll also hang out, like even if I'm not streaming with these people, I will very frequently, like I'll hang out in Lupus Arkham's streams sometimes. I'll hang out in Fluxy's, I'll hang out in Rural's, and just kind of, you know, play in the chat and just be there, like enjoy myself without having to actually be the one playing the game. So, let's see. How much money for me to call 911 on stream? Ain't gonna happen. Do I play Fortnite? Nope, I do not play Fortnite. Favorite country? I haven't been to all of them. That's hard to decide. I feel like that's one of those things I would have to experience to make a good judgment. The superhero storyline might come back. It kind of depends on, like I said, if I wake up one day and have an amazing, like, inspirational epiphany about it, I might bring it back. But I'm not going to try and force that one because I liked the first part too much to try and give it a shitty second part. It deserves better. Can I say no? Whatever that is, I can't say. I could try, but I'm going to butcher it. Tempted to subscribe to the Patreon. Yeah, you're welcome to. Also, the Twitch subs are the other way to get to the Discord. Both of those paths will work. So whatever your interest is. What's the concept of the next audio? Like tomorrow's audio? It's a myth alignment. I don't want to say anything else. It's cute. It's cute. It's very cute. You see, my brain was fluctuating. Wow. See, you guys and the puns. You are quick. Favorite cryptic / mythical creature? Right now I'm kind of digging the kitsune. She's kind of fun. So I'm enjoying that whole, like, mythology. Did I play Assassin's Creed? No, I haven't played that one. Bloopers or outtakes? No, and I feel bad actually a little bit about that because that's been asked before. People want to hear bloopers and outtakes. I don't have any because, as I said at the start of the stream, when I write my scripts, I write them in my own voice and they're very tight. So when I deliver them, when I go to record, it's usually just the one take. If I have to redo something, it's because I coughed or because it's something like that, and I'll go edit the cough out later. But I don't tend to flub my lines ever. I think it's just because I write the way I talk, and so it's just a very smooth, it comes very naturally to me, so I don't really have any bloopers. I almost wish I did because it sounds like that might be fun, but I don't have anything. What else we got? My stomach is growling. I'm gonna have to get some lunch soon. How many fan scripts do I receive? 0. I don't accept scripts from fans. I'm always willing to accept ideas. If somebody has an idea for a cool audio, you can email it to me. You can, comment on one of the existing audios with it. I'll probably see it, although YouTube's comment dashboard lately has been, I don't know what the hell it's doing. I'm missing so many comments. But if you have ideas, I'm always open to ideas. But scripts I do not accept. I have to write my own scripts. Start to finish. Good luck on your bio exam. I'm sure you'll kill it. The merch store? The merch store is on Teespring. Hold on. What is the merch store? Stores / God damn it. Urban. Here we go. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Teespring.com/stores/urban nymph. That's the merch store. I actually have 2. I've got a Zazzle one as well, but I don't like the Zazzle one as much. It doesn't have as much flexibility for what I want to do. It's just the only reason I have it is because there's things I can do there that I can't do on Teespring yet. So they're both there, but that's the better one, Teespring. What kind of music you like? Pretty much anything except country, but it's a mood thing. Like if I'm driving, if I'm cleaning, if I'm chilling, if I'm working out, it's all different, and sometimes I'm just not feeling certain music, but really anything but country is fair game. Way to flex. I'm not trying to flex, honest to God. I write my own inner monologue and then it comes out exactly as written. Honestly, like, the recording is the quickest part. If it's a 15-minute audio, it might be 18 minutes of time in the booth, and then I come out and clean it up. Once I clean it up and take out any times I did cough or just need to shorten some pauses or something, then usually when I record, whatever the final product is a minute or 2 shorter than the actual recording time was after I do all the edits. But yeah, plus of course every time I start recording, I let it, I lay out on it for several seconds to get a nice baseline background audio before I start, so I can use that for spacing and stuff. But yeah, that's the easiest part. Right now, writing the scripts tends to be the longest part, and then the editing and stuff is the second longest part. So, I have hit 20K, I know, right? How long have I been making audios? I started the channel September of 2019, September like 29th or 30th, like right at the end of the month. And then jumped right into October and started doing spooky shit. Hey, NJ. NJ has discovered rural. Is the art scrolling on screen based on what I really look like? Yeah, to a point. The green eyes and the brown hair. The one that I'm told looks the most like me is the one in the gray t-shirt. But they're all a variation of, yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for dropping the links, guys. Late to the Party. Have you heard of the book series, The Secrets of Nicholas Flamel? I have not. Maybe I should look into that. Will I eat the brown part of the banana? No, I will not. Sorry. Flixie's lurking. And we're not going to go through the stolen Penta is a story for another time because it wasn't stolen. I'm not going to steal any, nobody's Pentas are getting stolen. This is a touchy thing for me. Okay, so listen, here's how this went down. So we were playing ARAMs, and I was playing Zyra, and Zyra's got the little plants, and the little plants will shoot on their own. I can't control what they do. And so we're going down the lane, and Fluxy's got a Quadra, and he's working on the Penta, and my little plants are there, and they're shooting, and they got the last hit on the guy, and therefore it was not a Penta. But it's not my fault because it wasn't me, it was the plants, and I didn't make them do that. They did it on their own, and if I could take it back, I would. And oh my God, it's not a stolen Penta if it's unintentional, and also it's an ARAM, and it doesn't matter. There. See? You can't steal a Penta. This is exactly right. Yes. I didn't steal anything. I earned it. I play on console. No, I play on PC. I will defend that. I will go to my grave defending that. That was not a stolen Penta. It was an accidental last hit by a part of my champion that wasn't even mine, and I couldn't control it, and I just fight me. I swear to God. You can ask me anything you want. Whether I answer is something else entirely. On a scale of 1 to awesome, how awesome am I? I don't know, man. I don't know if I can rate myself. I just, didn't steal anything. You got me all fired up. God damn it. See, if you're not good enough to get it yourself, it was never yours. It was never yours. Vod, thank you for the quirky sticker. Oh my God. What is the best way to come out as trans? I mean, speaking as someone who has trans friends and they all have different stories, it's really dependent on your situation. I mean, if you have a supportive family, that makes all the difference. If you don't, that also makes all the difference. It also depends on whether you are dependent on your family or whether you are independent and it doesn't matter if they, cut you off, things like that. There's a lot of factors that go into it. It's an individual choice. It's an individual step. And you absolutely have to make whatever decision is best for you. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. The only piece of advice I might give is to talk to somebody that you absolutely trust beforehand, whether it's like a school counselor or a friend or a colleague, somebody that you know is supportive and that you can be comfortable with, and see how it goes with them first, possibly. Start with the low-hanging fruit as far as people that will accept and understand, and go from there. So, a penta is, okay, if you're playing League of Legends, your teams are 5 versus 5, and a penta means that one person killed all 5 people on the other team. It's a pentakill. So, see. Okay, it was not 3 times. Okay. Yes, you lost 2 other pentas, but I was not in those. I'm pretty sure I was dead for those. I had nothing to do with your other lost pentas. Do not put that mojo on me. No. Not my fault. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Okay. If I made a character with a superpower, weak but controlled or strong but uncontrollable? Neither. I would like to have control. I'm a control freak, so I like control, but I also wouldn't want to be weak. Favorite audio I've ever recorded? Probably the drunk confession that turns out to not be drunk. As far as like the actual recording bit. But I also really like the Kuderai Alien series. How do I write my scripts? I write them the way I talk. I'll write a line of dialogue, and then I'll put the word pause in brackets on the next line, and then I write another line of dialogue, and then another pause. And I make sure to script every pause for when the listener is meant to be responding, so that I don't rush it. And I script every sound I make, every every yeah, whatever. And I just write the way I speak. There's very rarely any edits to my actual script. I tend to write it straight through. And sometimes I'm sort of in the zone when I write and I don't realize it until I go to record. And as I'm recording, I'm like, I don't remember writing this, but it sounds like something I would say. So, yeah, and it still works, but like I kind of forgot about it or something. How do I determine the content? It's largely like I have to have a little bit of an experience. Like there has to be a nugget of experience in there or I don't feel comfortable talking about it because, or I have to have some guidance from somebody who does have the experience. But yeah, like I said, I try to do the fantasy, sci-fi, supernatural stuff on Mondays, the comfort, girlfriend, wife, fun, romantic friends to lovers stuff on Thursdays, and the myth alignments on Saturdays. My favorite childhood cartoon character? Oh my God, I have no idea. Some of these questions I don't really have an answer for. Do I like to drink water? No. I mean, I will if I'm thirsty enough, but I like Diet Coke. Favorite type of music? I really don't have a favorite as long as it's not country. I have to be in the mood for it. But whatever it is, if I'm feeling it, I'm grooving to it. Jacko Perino, thank you for the super chat. I like your myth alignments, like the one about appearance and security. And the snowed in blizzard and apocalypse. Yeah, the blizzard one was funner than I expected it to be. Am I a history buff? To a point. I don't immerse myself in any particular era of history, but I like learning I like the stories. History is stories, right? It's not just memorizing dates and names in a textbook. It's stories. It's things that actually happen to people. Do I have weekly VCs in my Discord? I have weekly Foreign Food Friday. Every Friday at around 12:30 Eastern, except for today because I'm doing this, so I did it yesterday. I jump into the VC on Discord and everybody jumps in with me, and I will eat something I've never eaten from a place that I do not live. So like yesterday I had these Irish like steak flavored chips and some Cadbury mini rolls that I never had. Sometimes I've done Japanese food, sometimes I've done Brazilian food. I've done things from all over. People send me stuff sometimes. I have a P.O. box that my patrons and Twitch subs get access to because it's in the Discord. So, but yeah, I'll try a variety of things. Sometimes I actually cook, and most of the time it's just packaged stuff. And so I'll open it and I'll eat it and I'll rate it. And sometimes I make strange noises because it's not good. And then we just shoot the shit for like an hour and just talk. And some people talk out loud and some people just participate in the text chat, but it's usually a pretty good time. So let's see. Henry Parker, drink more water. Thank you for the super chat, and I will attempt to drink more water. I will. I promise. Let's see. You happy I continued the Blizzard series? Yeah, I kind of am too. I think that as much as I wanted to leave it as it was, it flowed so nicely into the coma thing that I was already planning to do. So it was like, and the coma thing was extra challenging because, unlike some of these audios, the listener's not talking back. So it was a totally different dynamic than most of these where there's an implied dialogue. There was nothing implied. It was just me running my mouth. So that was a surprisingly challenging one. Good Good night, NJ. Yeah, you better get some sleep. Do I listen to ASMR? I do. I have a lot of ASMR artists that I follow. Have I ever played Undertale? Nope, I have not. Scrolling. If I was a super villainous, ooh. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'd be one of those villains that's really just trying to make the world a better place, but because they're coming up against the establishment capitalism machine, that they come across as evil. I guess that's me. The purple flower weeds in the grass and the earliest yellow flowers are the best. I know, right? They're so pretty. Is there anyone I really want to collab with? Not really. Like, I mean, I'm open to collabs with most people, but there's really nobody that I'm sitting there going, oh my God, I really want to work with that person. Like, there's so many great, talented VAs out there that I'm just sort of like, they're all so good. Like, if it's a good script and we're all on board with it, I'd probably be happy to do it. Like, it's pretty awesome. And I'm sorry if I miss any comments. I know I'm missing comments, but what about implied dialogue makes it easier to write as opposed to monologue? Because my part plays off of what is implied that the listener is saying, so it's in my head, it's easier to have a dialogue when there is a dialogue, when there's a response. And then my next comment is based on the implied response. And if it plays out in my head the way I imagine that it will, it flows, But if it's just me talking to a comatose person, that's all it is. I'm not getting any feedback. I'm not getting any response. I'm just sort of like, well, yeah, so you're looking good today. How about I read you some poetry, because there's literally nothing else I can do. So, yeah, I mean, it's just it's less organic, it's less dynamic, it's less engaging, I think, because there is just one person speaking into a void. Do I like anime? I love anime. I don't have a favorite because there's too many, but like I've said before, I like Assassination Classroom, I like Noragami, I like Toradora, I like Ouran High School Host Club, I like Promised Neverland Season 1, No Game No Life, oh my god, Danganronpa, I liked the first several episodes of Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, but when it started to get sad, I stopped watching it. Astro Lost in Space is good. God, there's so many good... I've watched far too much anime to the point where it's really hard to just say, yeah, I like it. There's one or two that I like. There's just too many. And, Haikyuu is really good. Kuroko no Basket's good. God. I mean, the ones I've watched the least of are probably the sports and the mecha ones, but the ones I have watched I've enjoyed. So, there's that. If I could be a cat or a wolf, which I pick probably a cat, because if I could get away with having the attitude that my cat has, I'd be all over it. Any other ASMR audios recommend for relaxing? Oh my god, where do I start? So my favorite ASMR artists for just zoning out and going to sleep, actually putting them on at night before I fall asleep, are Gentle Whispering, because Maria's the queen. Ephemeral Rift, Angelica, as long as it's not one of her funny ones, because then I can't. Atmosphere is very good if you like that full immersion. She is ridiculous. The production value is incredible. It's through the roof. I don't understand why she doesn't have more people, more followers. She's got like 300,000 subscribers and she needs like 1 million. Who else? Goodnight Moon is good. Fred's voice is very good. He really likes Star Wars, so if you like Star Wars, you might like him. Also, he does the Rude English Gentleman, which is hilarious. I like Tony Bomboni's voice. I don't like that he puts mid-roll ads in his videos. I get why, but like, I have to wait and I can't relax until those ads go through and then I can finally relax. Peace and Sarity. Sarity, you know what I'm talking about. The one with the banging makeup. She's amazing. Dean ASMR. The amount of effort I put into making my fact checking and making my worlds and immersion as accurate as possible, Dean goes the other way. He I think at this point deliberately puts like all the wrong information in there, like historically. It's amazing. I kind of love it. But his voice is great. Let's see what else. Have I seen the film for No Game No Life? I have. It's good. Oh yeah, My Hero Academia I do like. I forget about that one. I like My Hero Academia. I wasn't super into the second half of the last season. I didn't like the sort of ordinary school festival arc. Like, it didn't do a lot for me, but that's okay. How many people in my Discord? 120 something. I forget. What inspired me to make audios? No idea. Mythology themes, because I like it. I like mythology. I have not been watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I have not watched that. Classroom of the Elite I have not seen. Favorite mythological deity? Ooh. God, not really. I always liked Artemis a lot. Because I just liked her whole, you know what, just give me power and let me shoot stuff. That's really all I want. Biggest plot twist in a book or TV that I was not expecting. Oh, God. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about that. Have I seen Violet Evergarden? I started Violet Evergarden. I got a few episodes in and I was like, this is going to be really sad. And I backed slowly away. Favorite from Ouran High School Host Club? Kyoya is amazing. I have a soft spot for Tamaki. Because who doesn't? I mean, come on. He's adorable. And, but yeah, Kyoya for the snark. He's everybody's favorite mommy. But yeah, those two, I guess. Do I know Endearin Audio? I know of the channel. I don't know her. If I had to stop making audios, what kind of videos would I make? I wouldn't make videos, probably. That sounds like a lot more work. Electric Kid, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Help make your work bearable. I'm glad I'm helping. Have I ever tried skateboarding or rollerblading? Not really. I have rollerbladed some. Skateboarding, that was one of those things my parents would not allow me to do as a kid. Like, there were just certain things my parents would weirdly put their foot down about. And for me and my brothers, and skateboarding was one of them. They were convinced if we skateboarded, we would die. So that was just not something we were allowed to do. Yeah, Violet Evergarden. I knew it. I knew it was going to be a cry anime. I was not... Like Your Lie in April? Nope. Backed slowly away from that one, too. Like, you can feel it. You know after a few episodes where this is going. No. I don't need to be triggered into tears again today. I'm not making an audio about crying. I don't need it. What are my opinions on bears? They're cute. I'd rather not meet one in the wild. We have black bears around here. They're not super threatening. They're kind of small for bears. They're not like polar bears or grizzly bears. And as we encroach on their habitat, they start coming out of the woods and like going through people's trash. And occasionally they get up into trees and they have to be like tranquilized and brought down. And sometimes they drink beer that they find in the trash and get drunk. And one time there was one that got drunk and went and like sat on the beach. And I always wondered what he was thinking about. Like, he had a few beers and sat on the beach. I was like, what you doing there, bear? What are you pondering? See, yeah, you're lying again. Okay, you're talking to somebody who sobbed at the end of Assassination Classroom. Like, I fell apart at the end of that particular show. So I am extremely easily triggered to tears by shows like that and by deliberate emotional manipulation. Like, even if I know it's deliberate, even if I know they're pushing every button in an effort to make me sob like a little bitch, I know they're doing it, it still happens. I can't stop it. So, more like Your Die in April. Wow. Harsh. High Score Girl. I don't think I've seen that one. Avatar: The Last Airbender, of course. But not the movie, because that doesn't exist. Yeah, I do live in Florida. You laughed at the end of assassination class? You monster! Who laughs at that? Oh my god. That's wrong. Do I like JoJo's? I've never actually watched JoJo's, but I've heard good things. I think pineapple should be legally allowed to be on pizza. It could be legally allowed, but just because it's legal doesn't mean it doesn't earn disdain from me. Like, just because something can happen doesn't mean it should. My pronouns are she, her. Bears are your favorite animal? Yeah, they're pretty cool. Mushroom and pineapple pizza. Wow, the chat is full of monsters today. Don't think I don't notice that you monsters are all patrons. I know where you are. I will find you. If I can own one mythological item, ooh. Again, that's really hard. How do you choose something like that? Clanid, I've heard Clanid's a cry item. I haven't watched it for kind of that reason, but I've heard that about it. Oh my gosh. I'm sitting for a second and absorbing the chat. I can't wait for the future of the vampire remake. Me either. Oh, congratulations on your transition. Hope it goes smoothly for you. You are absolutely valid. You're awesome. There's some sardines on that pizza? Okay. Yeah, the monsters are out in full force. Have I seen Promised Neverland? Yes, I love Promised Neverland Season 1. Season 2 I am not as pleased with, and I don't want to go into details on that, but... Monster like my audios or anime monster? Just monsters. Just... Y'all are just so... Do not watch Clannad. Okay, yeah, I won't. Can you use Medusa's head as a weapon? See, that sounds a double-edged sword, though. That's one of those easy ones to accidentally turn on yourself. Like, any weapon that I could accidentally turn on myself is probably a bad idea, because I will probably hurt myself with it. And in that case, it's not just hurt yourself, it's epic dead. So, high score girls about arcade gaming. Ooh, that sounds kind of interesting. Least favorite audios that I've made? Huh. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't dislike anything I've made, because if I dislike it enough, I'm not going to put it out there. You know, I'm not going to publish it and make it visible if it's crap. I mean, they are all my children. Some are more troubled than others. I don't super like... Okay, I like that the yandere imaginary friend exists. I like Pepper as a character, but I don't love yandere as a concept, and I don't love playing it. I know it's very popular. I know people are super into it, but in my experience, once you've been the target of an actual yandere, it's way less fun. And that's sort of where I'm coming from. Like, I've been stalked. It was not pleasant. The whole "if I can't have you, no one will" thing is adorable until it's real, and then it's terrifying. And no, like, I'm not, yeah. So, and this gets back to me and my whole, like, basis of realism and most of what I do, whether it's, thorough research into an existing mythology, or whether it's a friends to lovers that doesn't end on an epic, sweeping, profession of love. The yandere stuff just hits a little close to home. So, and that's not to say I won't do it. I have been thinking about doing it again because I know it is popular. I know people like it, but, like, it's just a hard, like, for me, it's a very hard immersion, because I don't, as a concept, I don't like it. I don't like that it exists. I don't like that obsessiveness is romanticized in that way. Like, dangerous obsessiveness is romanticized, I suppose. Okay. Let's Let's see, what have I missed? Peanut butter on cheese. I've never actually tried peanut butter on cheese, and I'm not going to. Yeah, I heard about the skipped story arcs in Promised Neverland, and I'm not pleased. Oh, thank you for the super chat. JMD Productions. Did you watch Angel Beats? I started Angel Beats. I got several episodes in. Again, I know where it's going. I probably will finish that one because I feel like that one I kind of I'm more on board with. And sometimes I will commit the cardinal sin of I'll get a couple episodes into something and then I will Google it and see where it's going before I commit to it because I'm afraid. Because I don't necessarily, I didn't sign a permission slip for this field trip. I don't want that. So, but yeah, so that one, I feel like I kind of know what's coming and I'm okay with it, I think. Like, even if it makes me cry, I think I'm okay with it. Yandere for Jaffa Cakes. Yeah. How old did I turn? See, I asked you guys, how old do you think I am? I'm curious. I don't think anybody's answered. You Gotta Bounce by Henry Parker. A wholesome ASMR. There's plenty, I mean, YouTube is crawling with wholesome ASMR. There's great ones out there. And it's funny the ones that you, like for me, the ASMRs that literally just help me sleep. Because when I think ASMR, I don't think about what I do. Most of what I do, I don't consider to be ASMR. I don't consider it to be designed to trigger those tingles in your scalp or designed to, you know, make you pass out involuntarily, which is what ASMR does to me. I think about stuff that's, yeah, knocking you on your ass, like watching or listening to something like when Maria Gentle Whispering folds towels and talks about it. Like, it's the most, in theory, it's the most boring thing you'll ever see is somebody folding towels. And I am so there for it. Oh my God. Like, it's the most soothing thing in the whole wide world. Oh, Henry Parker, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Parting birthday gift. Have I been watching Dr. Stone? I have not. I actually watched the first one, and for some reason it didn't grab me, so I didn't continue with it. The Drunk Confession. The Drunk Confession's not a vampire character. That one's a separate audio. The Vampire Roommate is a series, and then The Drunk Confession is not a vampire. That one doesn't have a supernatural element other than not actually being drunk, which is actually accurate. I've never been drunk in my life, so that whole thing was just based on watching other drunk people stagger around. 20s, yeah, you guys are, you're not far off. 184, wow. Sion, ugh. Again, with the patrons coming in clutch. 184. God, could you imagine what you would see in that kind of time? Could you imagine? God, that'd be amazing. Weird overlap between audios and ASMR. Yeah, I get that. A lot of people tag stuff ASMR that for me is not ASMR, but I've also tried to start to incorporate a little more ASMR into my stuff because people seem to like it, like the hair cutting and the scalp scritching and, you know, stuff like that. Like, I get it. I dig it. I don't really, my mic, I don't feel like is super conducive. I don't have a binaural mic, so I can't do like I can do, the only way I can do the two-sided stuff is if I literally duplicate the track and then set one for the left ear and one for the right ear and do it that way. But yeah, I get the appeal, believe me. I like the tingles. I get the tingles. I dig it. I just feel like most of what I do is not in that category. And, you know, if I'm listening to a cool story or a VA, you know, doing a role play, to me, I tend to get into the story and then I can't rest, you know. I don't want to fall asleep. I want to listen and see where it's going, or, you know, enjoy this. It's like an audio book almost, except you're part of it. And that's not sleepy to me. So, you'd rather be 20 with a time machine? Huh. Urban Nymph Cinematic Universe. I mean, to a point. People have asked me before if my characters all exist in the same universe, and if that works for you, I'm fine with it, as long as they, you know, mesh. Like, I realize a lot of my stuff is sort of in its own silo. Like, the mermaid stuff is completely separate from the vampire roommate stuff, but there's no reason why they couldn't theoretically be in the same universe, because the vampire roommate stuff implies there are other supernatural creatures. I mean, they exist. Angels exist, you know, things like that. Werewolf, shapeshifter, all that stuff that was in the drop down on the little government website thing they did the other day. So, you found me through. Wow, interesting. The algorithm put me up there for ASMR. That's interesting. How old is the vampire roommate? I think of her as, See, I didn't want to make her super duper old. I don't like the idea of vampires living to a point where I feel like if you live too long, you sort of lose that relationship with humanity. Like, you don't have that connection. So I think of her as like a few decades older than the listener. Like, obviously she doesn't look it, but she's maybe like not even 100, let's say. Like, I don't want her to even be 100. I don't want her to be around that long. And grandfather is probably maybe a couple 100 years old, maybe. And that's part of the reason why I think he's so like detached and so like not involved with, like, he's got his own like world, and he's just kind of not, he doesn't really know what's going on because he's in his own cocoon. I feel like that's part of the reason why, because he's lived so long that he's lost that attachment to the world and to humanity, because at some point you kind of have to, because things have changed so much and people have, passed on, and you're sort of still there, and the only other people that are there with you are your little clan. And yeah, so I don't like to think of her as having lived so long and seen so much that she's like got the 1,000-yard stare or anything like that, but she's been around a bit. Let's see. Rise and Fall of the German Empire. Yeah, the Cuter Alien was fun, but I kind of had to end it where I did. I read Nymph the movie. That one twist in one of the recent vids. Thank you. I know which one you're talking about. Oh my gosh. Elven Lord of Rivendell is 3,000. See, that's a really long... And again, that just makes you so incredibly... Just... How? How could you be at all connected to anything if you've been around that long? 9 feet tall. No. Supernatural, yeah. I actually used to watch Supernatural. Where's Aunt Bethany?
Is your house on fire, Clark? Is Rusty still in the Navy?
I need more Coke for that. Did I watch Castlevania? Nope. And grandfather is centuries old. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why vampires, I mean, if they live that long and they also age very slowly, they don't look their age. I would imagine they could still, just imagine the whole, like, a normal aging process, but just drastically slowed down. Like, it's much, much slower. Let's see. My back feels 3,000 years old. Okay, on that note, I think I should stop because it's been 2.5 hours, you guys. This may be like the longest live stream we've ever done. Jeez, holy moly, I didn't realize that much time had passed. Okay, well, on that note, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you all for the super chats, for the comments, the questions, the love, the support. This would not exist without you, obviously. This channel, if nobody was listening, would just... it would just be me talking into a void like I kind of thought it was going to be. But instead, you guys seem to like it, and I value that so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate your being a part of my community and making it what it is, bringing the wholesome and the love and the support to each other and to me. And I can't say thank you enough. And I can't imagine a better way to spend my birthday than hanging out with you guys. So... All right, on that note, I will talk to you later. I should be streaming tomorrow on Fluxy's channel on Twitch, like I said, probably around 10 a.m. Eastern, and then on my own channel Sunday night, assuming the schedule keeps. And other than that, I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.